Good morning, y'all. Okay, let me get my light fixed because it decided it wanted to not do its thing today. It didn't want to light properly this morning, apparently. Did it not want to light properly, or did I? There we go. Oh, then that one's on that side's cocky. Oh my goodness, hold on. Annoying. There we go. There we go, okay. My bad on goofing that up. Okay, so where did we leave off yesterday? Let's go over what we accomplished yesterday and what we're going to get done today. Turn that down a tiggity tad. Okay, so where did we leave off yesterday? Yesterday we dug in the job system. We converted job in progress and claimed into a job state enum. We did some refactoring of the way the job steps are. We tried to determine the condition that's causing jobs not to run properly, and we didn't really get to that because we spent a good amount of time focusing on getting done. Yesterday was a refactoring day for sure. So let's take a look at where, and some of the things I did last night while we were working is I converted the project to some of the new 2D lighting that got put out in Unity 2019.3. So you can see, where can I turn it off? I can turn it off here. I can turn it off, this one, global 2D light. Boop. So there, without that, now you see everything's not lit. So then we can do cool things like this, where we say let's put a 2D light. Let's find where that 2D light is. Hey, you 2D light, you get over here. Meow. 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 Like, it won't let me move it without. Come on, get over here. Then if we turn off the global light. Boop. And then let's say fall of intensity. Oh, you gotta, the thing is you have to set the layers so it highlights everything. So you can see here it's like we can do neat things with lighting. So as we implement like night and daytime stuff, you can do stuff with this. That'll, if you turn on the global light, which the global light is now set to 0.5, but if we would do like, hey, it's nighttime, and you do like 0.2 or like 0.1, and then you can have this set up so that you can see a little bit. Like, hey, it's nighttime over here. So let's move the point light. It was just something I was playing around with last night. Just to kill some time. Just because I was interested in it and I wanted to kind of cleanse my palette. So here it's like, oh, it's nighttime. Like we have little lights here. It's like easy to see those guys, but these guys are less easy to see. Let's see, 0.05. So you can do something like that too. So we could, I just wanted to have something that we were squared away with for shaders. So we set up we did that. We also set up a shader. Okay, let's set the global illumination back to 0.5. That looks okay. I want it to be noticeable. I don't want it to be one where it's like, hey, everything's perfect. It's like, I want to remember there's light here. But then if we go into, I have all the colonists set to have this new shader that I worked on last night. It's just a basic starting premise off of like a tutorial, but it was just something to, like I said, cleanse the palette. Because I really liked the lady we raided yesterday. I didn't realize she's the one that made Shader Forge, and I like spent $90 on Shader Forge like years ago, and it was one of my favorite purchases because like it made doing shaders easier. Like I'd done a couple examples of shaders using just the shader code, the basic like the C style code. It was, and it's like the concepts are like, oh, this makes sense, but just the complexity of setting it up was kind of hard. So we made this little shader in the Unity shader editor. I just went off of a tutorial for it. Hey, thank you, Alien. I appreciate it. Welcome to the raid. Welcome, Raiders.
Welcome to the Basketball Raid.
Oh, let me give Alien a shout out. He's a good dude. Alien. Thank you for the early morning raid, sir. Oh, you're playing Warframe? Dude. Thank you so much, Alien. I hope you guys are having a good morning. I've been wanting to try Warzone. I heard it was actually pretty good, but I just haven't committed to it yet. I've told Huck I was going to play it too. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. So, Morning Raiders, we're working on a Dwarf Fortress and plus RimWorld plus Firefly clone right now. Super nerdy, super alpha. Like, there's not a playable build yet, but when we get the job system done, once the job system's done, we basically have like a building sandbox, and I'm going to put a build out for that so people can build and give me feedback on that if they want. Thank you so much for the raid. You guys are awesome. Thanks, Alien Dude. Good morning, sir. Dude, you've got like the little oh, he's like lifting weights. He's like strong. For a second I thought it was the table flip guy that's like always trying to like fuck you up. Oh. Later, man. Have a good night, sir. The working title is Space Western Survival, and that's just from my lack of creativity. So I'm sure eventually we'll have a day where we're just like, okay, guys, we need a better title than Space Western Survival. It's kind of terrible. Let's think of something. Let's think of something better. And the very first start screen we have for loading is let's pull it up so you can see it. It's this. You know, so it has room for improvement. But I was looking for images, and I just came across this one. I was like, Space Western. I was like, Space Western Survival. That's a interesting name. But I'm sure we'll think of something better, because a terrible name will doom your game to never be played by anyone. But yeah, it's 2D. It's all 2D, in the style of like RimWorld and Prison Architect, and a step above Dwarf Fortress, which has no fucking graphics at all. Yeah, this is all from the ground up. Nobody else has worked on it yet. I mean, I'm open to, if people want to, like, actually want to help in the project, I'm open to that. We've got builds on itch.io, and eventually, you know, I'm going to release it on Steam whenever it's done. I mean, we've started on this in, like, 2013, like, right at the end of 2013, once we played the first RimWorld, I started playing this. I started thinking, like, man, RimWorld is awesome, but it's missing the pieces that Dwarf Fortress had, where you can go down through, like, multiple Z levels, and it's missing the complexity of the interactions you can get with the pawns, like you can with Dwarf Fortress. Like one of the someone in chat the other day was telling a story about they had their Dwarf Fortress, and somehow orcs had befriended them and moved into the fortress, and then one of the dwarfs got drunk and killed one of the orcs, an orc stripper, and then there was like a race war in his colony, which is like, dude, that shit wouldn't happen in RimWorld. It's like awesome. Like, I want to have that level of complexity as well, because I think RimWorld kind of started going up, and then after a couple years, Tynan, hey, thank you for the follow, Cyber Golem. Welcome to the Biscuit Brigade, as said by my 5-year-old daughter. Well, 6-year-old now, but I want to have kind of that level. Like RimWorld got to the point where they kind of pushed on story, and I don't know this for sure, but it seemed like Tynan just got kind of burned out from working on this for years and years, so he pushed out a release where instead of going for all the big ideas he wanted to do the same thing. He wanted a Dwarf Fortress. So one of the big differentiators we're going to do here is we're going to figure out we're going to build this in such a way that this grid here we can then copy, and we can make another set of tile maps underneath of it, so that we're going down and making multiple levels, just like Dwarf Fortress. So you can build underground bases. Because that's my favorite that is the favorite thing I love about Dwarf Fortress, that you can like build underground bases. Like that is so cool. It's like a mining itch. Like why I like Minecraft, why I like those games where you dig and build stuff underground. It's really cool. That's really cool. It looks like it took a lot of work to get to this point. I think we did a line count before, and I think it's like 250,000 lines of code we wrote. That's not 100% me. There's probably there's a couple plugins we use, like to help kind of enable us to do this work. But yeah, we've written our fair share of code. Yeah, totally an orc stripper, ethical carb, totally. So right now, the thing we're working on right now is, let me get rid of these colonists once I apply their prefabs. I was just updating their prefabs to give them the new lit 2D shader. It's lit, yo. Ah, no, fuck you. Fuck yourself. Let's do a run to show you guys what we were working on. Anyone else think this guy looks like a young Mike? Dude, I love Michael Chiklis, so I love Michael Chiklis ever since I was a kid. Like, he was in the commish. Hey, thank you. Holy shit, thank you, Cyber. You're fucking awesome, man. I don't even have a fucking welcome to subscriber. To being a subscriber, I need to figure that out. Thank you so much, man. You're the third real subscriber that I haven't gifted myself. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So I watched Michael Chiklis as a kid in commish, and I loved him. And then The Shield came out when I was an adult, and I was like, holy fuck, this guy is like, how do you balance like the super nice like commish versus like the guy that just fucking shot another cop in the face? That's not a spoiler. That was in like episode 1. But he's like this anti-hero that you just like kind of root for. So I will take that as a big compliment, being like a younger Michael Chiklis. Okay, so let's get rid of this other. Okay. Oh, we're in the game now. Okay, cool. Where is the camera? So here's the colonist right now. The colonist with the shader that's kind of jacked up at the moment. I need to fix her shader. 1 second. Colonist shader. Did I leave it at oh yeah, I left the scale. Okay. The scale needs to be 0. So that'll be an effect we can add later where we can, when colonists die, we'll just disintegrate them. Or when we teleport them or something. Because that's not really in Firefly, but we'll figure out something useful for this shader. So right now we've been working on the job system where you can say, hey, let's mine, or for instance, let's cut all these trees. The colonists will go and cut them all. So we have one bug that one of these trees isn't going to get cut down. So we're in the middle of debugging, like, why the fuck that's happening. There's something somewhere. It's probably something stupid I'm doing. For that. So then we've got, you do the typical RimWorld things where you build stuff, or you can mine. So we just have to get all that stuff sorted out today. And it's kind of tedious, but it's super rewarding when we get through. The game's it's in alpha right now, because it's not really in a playable state yet. We have to get a couple more pieces built. Like, we need to get the job system done. If the job system gets done, then we at least have we can release a build of building. Like, you can build rooms, you can mine, you can chop down trees. Those are the systems we need to get in place before we can release a build to you guys. And they get feedback on that. And then what we'll do is we'll layer on top of that, like, okay, now when you chop down trees, you actually get resources. Like, you get wood. And when you mine, when you mine already, you get, it drops a new sprite that will be stone blocks. So we need to get all that stuff. We layer that on top of it. And then we also have it ready to take skills. So instead of the block getting immediately knocked around, you'll see animations of them doing something, because the time's modified by like their skills they do and everything. Holy mackerel, there's a ton of people in chat right now. I gotta catch up. Thank you for saying it looks cool. I appreciate it. Oh my goodness, all 2D. All myself for now. Totally open to help if somebody wants to help, but don't feel like you're obligated to. I know I'm very much like a big heart. I'll be like, I'll totally help, and then real life gets in the way, and then I feel like a piece of shit that I couldn't help the level I wanted. So don't ever feel obligated like you have to help. If you want to, cool. Don't worry if real life gets in the way. Like, I'm not gonna be. You said you were gonna help. You're doing this for free. Like, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. If you want to, cool. If not, that's fine too. It's not a big deal. This is all made by myself. Omnation. Omamation? It's like automation, but Omamation. I don't know if I said your name right, but I think your bot is right. It's only subscribed to you and YouTube, not here. What? My stupid bot. Hey, thank you for the follow, Zakux.
Biscuit boy.
Oh, then maybe my bot is wrong. Well, I appreciate it, Cyber. I'll have to figure out why my bot has stupidity. Yeah, it's gonna be like RimWorld, where I guess RimWorld is kind of like a real-time strategy. I mean, maybe if you squint, it's a real-time strategy, but it's you don't. The only time you directly control the pawns is when you're, or the colonists is when you're when you have them drafted for combat. But the rest of the time, the AI engine will take care of the movement and everything. I started working on this on Quietus. I started working on this in 2013, like right after RimWorld came out. I worked on it for a couple years. Then real life kind of got in the way, and then I put it on the back burner and went on to other projects. Like you get that euphoria from starting a project, and then you hit the hard work, like the hard stuff, and then you kind of, I don't know how anyone else does, but I know I lost the will. It's like, fuck, you hit these roadblocks and eventually you can't keep going. So part of the reason I'm live streaming this now is because I want you guys to hold me accountable. Be like, hey, fucker, you said you were going to work on this. You know, chop chop, motherfucker, get back to work. Because I want to get this done, and I need you guys to help me be accountable to it. So I came back to this because I played RimWorld Royalty, and because when RimWorld came out, I'm weird. Like, when a game's in early access, I will play the hell out of every build. But once the early access game is done, like Prison Architect, I don't, like, there's nothing new coming. So it's like, well, I have no motivation to play it because it's done. So I'll play it eventually. So once RimWorld was done, I stopped playing it. And then when RimWorld Royalty came out, I checked it out. I started playing it. I was like, fuck, I forgot how much I loved this game. Like, we need to go back and we need to finish Space Western Survival. We need to stream it so that we're accountable and that we can get it done. The game, I want to have multiplayer elements in it yet, so we're trying to design it with that in mind. But I still need help from you guys to know, like, what would make sense to do. What's the best way to do multiplayer? Like, what would be the most compelling gameplay or the most fun? Is it like jumping in and doing a co-op? Is it having your own world, your own colonies on the same world, and then you guys can come together across maps that way? Or, you know, what makes the most sense? Or is it just like Hearts of Iron 4, where you can both control the colony, so you're both kind of like managing things for when your colonies get bigger? Oh, thank you, Sid, for saying you guys are ready for it. I'm glad. Hey, Helios TV, I am glad that you want to be a part of this. Thank you, sir. What kind of, right now the jobs we have are, let's go look through what we had originally, so you can see, because we originally had, the original job system was all just one big switch statement for all the jobs, and that seemed like a clunky pile of shit, and I wanted it to be a little bit more modular, so we're ripping things out. So what we've got planned so far is colonists moving. Hello Stinky was a test, obviously, like a Hello World. Go eat, go drink, go rest, have fun, go beauty, go relax, go mental, which could be like, we've had a mental break. Go firefight, go doctor, go patient, go flick, go warden, go animal handler, go chef, go hunt, go construct door, go repair, go grow, go mine, go garden a tree, go garden a bush. Which those could really be the same thing, but with different parameters you pass in, because the only difference is what sprite you update after you get done. Go blacksmith, go tailor, go artist, go crafter, go hall, go housekeep, go scientist. And that makes me think of one of the big things that we're going to change is the scheduling system. So you're going to be able to specifically say, schedule cleaning for like 8 to 10, and then schedule something else. Because the one thing I don't like about RimWorld is how it's like, if you do like a dedicated cleaner, that's all they fucking do. And like, you have to do like stupid gimmicks to be able to get them to like, I only want them to clean the house, but they're going to go out and try to clean dirt and everything. So I'm trying to work through that. Right now I'm located, Snow Bunny, in like South Florida area, Miami area, near Parkland. I'm sure people are familiar with where Parkland is now. So I'm kind of there in South Florida. What about you? Where are you located? The game right now has a website on itch.io. Let me link it up for you. Because I paid for Steam for this game, but I haven't, where the hell is it? I paid for Steam yet, but I haven't. It would help better if you spell itch properly, you dumbass. But yeah, I paid for Steam, but there's nothing there at the moment. Let's see. Itch.io. There it is. Haha. Yeah, it would probably be good to have the game URL here, huh? Let me add a com for it. There we go. There's the website. Might be a dumb question, but what engine is this game being built on? That's not a dumb question at all. Age Manura. I gotta figure out how to say your name. Or you can tell me how to say your name. It's built on Unity. Unity is a free game development engine. Their vision, and they're the reason I can do this at all, because they were the forebears. Their vision is to democratize game development, and they want to make it so that any of us, like if we have an idea, we can do it. We don't need to pay like a ton of money. Their only thing is if you make a game that makes like 200 grand, $200,000 or euros, then at that point you have to start paying them a licensing fee, which is super reasonable. It's like $50 a month per developer. It's like super reasonable, like super worth it. Have you invested a lot of money into this game so far? Hey, Rip Tony. I've spent probably like maybe like a $500-600 in like asset store purchases. Probably total, I've probably spent a couple grand on asset store purchases, which I've used for this project and other projects. Like if I see something good, like one of my favorites was Shader Forge. That was like $90. Now Unity has that built in like 2D toolkits, and I bought a sprite tile system before Unity offered it. So I'll buy tools when there's a gap in what Unity offers and work on it. Hey, hello, Stars TV. Hello. I like the 2D style. Thanks. I like the style too, which is why I wanted to like clone it from what RimWorld and Prison Architect did, because I found it to be like super fucking, like it was super cool to see these little like plainy sprites, which will get better if I'm gonna eventually probably pay for assets for like what it looks like. This is just shit that I wrote. Like the columns right here, like I designed that in Photoshop. That's why it looks like ass. Like I did it. That's why it looks like poop. If that answers your question. I think I may have bought a few too many people for you. Hey Alien, it's cool. I appreciate it. You're the man, and I fucking owe you like a ton. I should actually, because you're so awesome, I'm going to gift you a subscription because you're amazing. I really appreciate it. Let's see. Did my paycheck come in yet today? Because it's payday, so hopefully it did. Hey, it worked. Nice. Thank you, Alien. You're the best. I only lost the will when my health went so chronically sick that I had to leave a project for 5 to 6 months, says Zach Ux. Then I realized it would never recover, and I decided to continue it anyway and progress so slow because of still being sick. So, funny story, Zach. I kind of had similar, like I started, and then I was having what I thought was like gallbladder problems for like 5 years. It took till like from 2010 to 2015 for the doctors to finally be able to verify. Like I matched all the symptoms. Like I kept going to the doctor. The GI I was using kind of sucked. And then my job, when I worked for GoDaddy, they started trying to fire me because I was missing a lot of work. I was a director there. So what I did was I went to a different doctor, and I told them like, oh, I'm about to get, termed. So they actually got me to the hospital. They got me verified. It actually turned out I had like, my gallbladder was infected. So I actually had to have emergency surgery. And then it was great, but that totally screwed up my progress in this game. I mean, along the fact that I had kids, but I totally understand the health thing. Space Western Survival is an interesting name. Thanks, Commando. I love couch co-op games. I do too, Tony. So that's why I'm thinking, like, what's the best way to do it? And we'll get there as we move down this project. Games like this have so much potential for player freedom and customization. Yeah, Sugar Bear, I like the sandboxy elements of games. Like, sandboxes are like my jam. When you can get to the point where you have emergent gameplay, like that's awesome. And I'm going slow because it's like I want to talk to everyone, and that's just part of my my charm. I could see this game being pretty popular, even though a lot of people scoff at 2D games. Yeah, I'm not necessarily a graphics whore, but I do like good graphics. But there's like when there's like quaint graphics that like and an aesthetic that makes sense, like those can be really compelling to me. Like what's the game where you're the 2D game where you're in the dungeon? Spelunky? Not Spelunky. There's the other one. Splunky was good too, but there was the one where it's like Splunky, but you're like in like a goth world with like demons and shit. Like a very a very interesting world. This looks like it'd be fun to stream. I think it would be fun, Cloistered, and totally when we get builds out, by all means, like, I appreciate feedback for this. I live in Washington State. Oh, awesome, Snow Bunny. No problem. I almost moved to Washington once. Like, Washington and the Oregon area. I really like the Northwest. Like, it's beautiful. Dude, Zach, you've published on Steam before? That's awesome. Good for you, dude. Like, I remember, like, when it used to be you had to be greenlit to get on Steam, and it was, like, such a pain in the ass. So good for you, man. Or man or woman. That's amazing. I feel like this could be the game of my childhood dreams. Okay. Okay, Ethical wants me to get going. We're gonna get going. Okay. Yeah, gallbladders are the worst. So let's get back to debugging the issue we have with this. So I'm gonna look at chat a little bit more slowly. I apologize. I love interacting, but if people want to see actual development, then let's get to development. I eat a lot of apples and applesauce, apple vinegar. That helps. Oh yeah, Zach. Like that was one thing I took was apple cider vinegar. Like, cause I got to the point where with the gallbladder pain, I was like, I have kids and a wife, but I was like, one time, I'm not ashamed to admit, like I wished to die. I was like, I want to die. Please kill me. It was so unpleasant, the feeling. So I got to like apple cider vinegar, taking Epsom salt baths, like I tried everything, like even the hokey shit, just because the pain was unbearable. And painkillers make me sick, so it's not like I can enjoy like, oh, I just have to I get to be high all the time. It's like, no, I get to be on my back nauseous all the time because painkillers. I'm one of the unlucky few that painkillers make me nauseous. Okay, so let's see if we can debug what the issue is. So we're gonna go and we're gonna say chop wood. We're gonna add a couple trees, and she's gonna miss one. And we need to figure out why as soon as it happens. Of course, this time you fucking get them all. Okay, let's do a couple more till we can break it. Okay, you just fucked that one up. Why'd that one get broken? Okay, so this one is at... Let's look through the logs. And see if we can see what her fucking damage was for this time. Oh my goodness, let's see. Remove the garden job. So she got... Main true. 136,260 is the location of the X that we're going to do the job on. Here's where she's finishing up the other job. So she's moving to this job now. So she's moving here. And then she's got the location. And then each job is set up. Each job has a number of job steps. So inside, we can visualize that actually. So let's go look at the main camera. And then over here, we're going to see... Oh. Yeah, it should be here. Okay. So here, we've got a representation of the job system right here. So there's a job... Here's the list of jobs. And you see each job has, like, who's doing the job, what's the name of the job, because that's the function to call. The location of the job. And then each job has steps. So this job for gardening has the steps of move to, so you move to where the work is done, and then go garden. So the job would also have in instances where if you're trying to build a wall, the wall would have move to the wall. If there's, say, a tree in the way, they'd have a step of cut down the tree. There'd be a step of haul the wood away from the tree. Then the last step would be build the wall. So that's why we kind of needed a step system so that you can have multiple... There can be multiple things that you have to do before a job is considered done. And maybe that's the wrong way to think about it, but that's what's worked so far. It was pretty awful, Snow Bunny. But I almost died when they removed mine. They said it was chronically diseased. Yeah, like they said mine was infected, and I don't think I didn't feel like I almost died, but the doctors were like, I'm glad you came in now because this is infected. This would have been bad. Which I don't know if that means you would have died, but I mean, the fact that I went in for a test at the hospital and they're like, no, you need to, like, all of a sudden they wouldn't talk to me, and then they, like, immediately wheeled me to the ER in the hospital, and they, like, admitted me, and then I had emergency surgery, like, in the middle of the night, like, that night, like, 12 hours later. It was, like, 2 in the morning or something that they did it. So I was like, holy shit, can the doctor take a nap? They're like, no, he needs to do this now. I'm like, okay, cool. Okay, so let's look through. The job that she's trying to do is 136,260. Let's see, where is this one at and what happened to it in this system here. 136,260. I don't actually see it here. So she thought she got this job done, and she didn't get the job done. Because we have a... So when a job goes... The states of a job are... When it gets created, it's created. It's an enum. Once a colonist claims it, it's claimed. Once the colonist starts working on it, it's in progress. We don't have any failure states yet, so it won't go to fail. But after it goes to in progress, it'll go to done. And then after it goes to done, there's a cron basically that'll clean up the jobs after a couple seconds. Because we were running into issues where we had race conditions where the colonist was still working on a job and then something else was trying to kill it. So we were getting null pointers. So we needed to decouple those things a little bit so that they were done separately. Will players be responsible for the jobs, or will they be just waiting for them to elapse? So, Beecher had, Betcher had, I don't know how to say your name, but it'll be like Rimworld and Dwarf Fortress, where you are the overseer and you put the jobs that you need done, and then you assign your pawns, you assign your colonists to say, okay, what you do is here. Let's actually pull up the display. Make this a little bit bigger so you can see. So if you go to planning, or not planning, priorities, you can see each colonist will have, and this will turn from checkboxes into like a number system to where you can tell a colonist what their jobs are they need to do. Like, hey, you're a miner, you repair, you hunt. Just if you've played Rimworld, it's very much like that. If you've played Dwarf Fortress, it's probably, I want it to be a little bit more complicated like that. Less Rimworld, more complex like Dwarf Fortress. So this was just the first pass at the UI for doing it, but I'd like it to be as complex as what we have in Dwarf Fortress. How many jobs are you going to have available? I think I went through the job list a little bit earlier in the VOD, Andy. It'll be everything you expect from Rimworld, and then we're going to add in, we're going to go take a pass at playing Dwarf Fortress again to refresh, because it's been years since I played, and then get more ideas of what we want to add into there, because I'd like it to be big and grandiose and complex and eventually laggy, because there's so much shit we have that it just, you're going to have a cat explosion and everything's going to die, basically. You might joke about the gallbladder, but I wouldn't. If it happens to anyone else, they will regret they laughed at it. Oh, yeah, totally, Zach. It's, my wife had her gallbladder out, and, yeah, it was like the roughest, the most pain I've ever been in. Like, it was really bad. Like, I can't remember ever being really suicidal, but like when I was in pain that one night, I was just, and I'm not super religious, but I was just praying and calling out to the ether to fucking kill me, because I wanted to die, because I just could not deal with that pain anymore. So it is no fun. I probably would wish it on my worst enemies, because my worst enemies, like, they're pieces of shit that would deserve that kind of thing. But I'd really rather not anyone have to deal with that, because it was pretty unpleasant. Okay, so let's go back to digging into why this piece of shit thinks the job was done. So the job wasn't actually in the list, so it seemed like the job got done. It thought the job was done, but it wasn't actually done. So let's do it again and see if we can trigger it on an individual scale, or if it's... So I'd like to see, is this something that we can trigger by like one by one adding jobs, or is this something that only gets triggered by pulling a big swath of jobs, putting a big swath of jobs in at the same time? Like, is there some race condition we're missing somewhere? So let's see if we can do that. Oh shit, hold on. I've got the I still have this object highlighted, and trying to represent all that data in real time like makes the Unity editor super assy slow. So we need to not look at that object, please, and thank you. Okay, no looking at the main camera. Now the lag will disappear. You don't think you ever played Dwarf Fortress, Shen? I'm not surprised. It is an amazing game, but it is also a game that has a really high learning curve to be completely. Yeah, it's a really high learning curve. There's mods that kind of make it a little bit easier, but at the end of the day, it's really hard to do. It's a hard game. Hold on, my green screen is being an asshole. There you go. The asshole green screen of justice. Okay. Well, still being an asshole, but we'll figure it out later. Green screen, you're driving me crazy. Okay. Let's scooch over a little bit. I'm gonna subscribe as well. Hey, thanks. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Reconded. I don't know how to say your name. I'm the worst. So let's go ahead and do one by one. Let's add Shopwood jobs and see if she can get them done one by one. And if she eventually hits a point where she doesn't... Okay. So what the fuck just happened there, Missy? Let's pause the game so we can dig into the code to see what happened. Will the player be only controlling one unit or multiple? So Mighted Ladysmith, it'll be like if you've played RimWorld or Dwarf Fortress, what the goal is you set jobs that need to be done. Like we said, we need to cut these trees down, we need to mine this ore, we need to build a house, and then the AI system in the back end will say, okay, there's these jobs that are done. The colonists, there's X number of colonists. They're the ones that do the jobs. So you can say, hey, my Mighted Ladysmith colonist, she's the cook, so she only cooks food. Then my Zach colonist, he's the hunter, so he goes and hunts. Then my Tony colonist, he's the builder, so he's going to do all the building. So everyone can do everything, but once you have skills, once we have the skill system in place, it makes sense to have the people that are good at the skill do the thing. So you might be the researcher, so it's like you're only going to research. So it's kind of like a high level, you have to like build out a group of very talented colonists that you can train up by doing the actions. And then what they're going to do is they're your base of your colony. And then what happens, you keep adding new colonists and you keep having struggles. Like you have attacks that attack you, you have calamities. As you mine down deeper, there's going to be, beasties you find down below and nasty surprises. Things like that. So it's going to be a top-down, it's totally not like a MOBA style, but it will be top-down from that aspect. Last night we just implemented the 2D light effect that Unity added for 2D games. So you can see here we'll do, like everything is lit now. So if you turn that down, we can add, that'll allow us to do interesting things with lights and shadows, which will be kind of neat. So as the day progresses, we'll see kind of that look and feel. So let's see why this fucking job is being a giant pain in the dick. So you'll be able to control multiple units. So you can do what you do with Dwarf Fortress or RimWorld, where you can draft all your colonists, and then you can control it like an RTS. But you only do that for something that's like a threat. Like if you have to fight, and you have to do combat or some sort of... you can take control of them if, for instance, you have some very specific, like you need them to move from point A to point B, so they pick another job. Like you can force that, but most of the time you're not going to be clicking them directly. You're going to be doing the high level stuff, and then the AI in the back end is going to be what moves everything around. Hey, Chowdu. Laduchadu. I don't know how to say it. I'm worse with names. Hey, thank you for saying it. Sounds awesome. I appreciate it. Shriaktinger? You're Schrodinger now. I can't say your name, so we're going to call you Skittles. If anyone gets that reference, then I also like American Dad. I try again. Hey, Cyber, I try again. Multiplayer could be co-op with every player having a family, father, mother, kid, and grow that. Every family having a unique skill that they depend on each other. That's interesting. Let me write that down. Like, let's make an ideas thing, because I am not always the best with that. So let's go make a page for ideas. I'm so sorry, Cyber. Like, it pains me. I tried to read everyone, and then people are like, get to work. And it's like, but people are saying stuff, and I want to read it, because I don't want to be a dickhead. And then someone's like, get to work, asshole. And I was like, okay, ideas. Let's make an ideas page. Oh, good lord, that is terrible. Let's open Sublime. So I can make it so that I can actually see what you said. I will never ever be the guy that just ignores what people say in chat, because I've been that guy before, and I fucking hate that. Like when you go into a channel that was like, there's this one guy I followed when he was really small, and he'd say hi, and now he gets like 2,000 people a day, and you go in and I say hi, and he doesn't say shit unless I'm a subscriber, which I hate that. It's like, and it's even when chat's moving slow, it's like, dude, that's a piece of shit thing to do, and I don't like that. Like, people that come in here and hang out are what makes this a cool, what'll make this a cool community. So, no, funny thing was you stopped reading two lines above my idea, and others mentioned it and read. Oh man, thank you for being persistent, Cyber. I appreciate it. But we have to figure out this motherfucker here. So it's still, the job's not there. Is it in the list? For pause. We make sure we uncheck the main camera, or it's gonna fucking be ass again when we try to go back into it. Okay. Let's see the job system. So there's no job. So the job is done. So it thinks that the job is done. So why is that? So we have Go Garden. She's deleting the main job. Is that the... Oh, that's the last job. So let's go back to where we add the job for. And it's at 136,260. Okay. Where's the very first reference of 136,260? And let's see. And Alien, thank you so much, dude. You're fucking amazing. If there's ever anything I can do... Well, one thing I need to do is I need to go fucking sub to you. Like, instead of gifting you a sub to me, I should go sub to you, because that was a fucking awesome... Let me go do that real quick, because you're fucking the bee's knees. Because that was fucking... You're fucking amazing, dude. Or dudette, I don't know. Dude's just kind of a normal thing for me. It's an asexual term. Whoa, you don't have a fucking... You don't have a sub button? Oh, fuck. No, what? I must be at the wrong alien. I must have typed your name wrong. Must have typed your name wrong. Doo-da. Well, anyway, I will fix that later. Let's see this job. Hey, Real Sook. We're working on a game called Space Western Survival, which is a mix of... It's like RimWorld plus Dwarf Fortress. It's really more of a Dwarf Fortress with a RimWorld-esque UI on top of it. I'd like the depth... Like, I want the depth of RimWorld, like... Or the depth of Dwarf Fortress. And I want to have, like, Firefly elements in there. I want it to be a kind of world that we... that anyone likes Firefly would be like, okay, this is cool. Because I kind of got that with RimWorld, but it made me, like, itch for more. Let's see, where does she get this job at? Okay, so this is the first reference of the job at 136,260. She's moving to it, because that's the job step for moving. She's right there. So she actually says she's done. So the Pathfinder said she's distance to 0. So the step was complete for job step. And then she goes gardens. And then it says it's done, which is totally not fucking done. Okay, the job wasn't done. Finishing processing. Step check here. So it was starting the runner. Okay, then we must have something weird in the state machine. Let's see. So this is the thing that manages all the jobs at a high level. So we pass in the job, and then it has to loop through the job steps. And what we're going to do with that is, let's see. Comes in with the current step. The current step is always going to be not started. So we're going to kick that to in progress. In progress doesn't do anything because you're just doing the job. When the job step is done, it just kicks out and it tries to finish processing the job. If there's no next step, if there's a next step, it increments the job counter, the job's current step, and it starts over again. So we need to see. Okay, we need to add a. Let's try this. Let's do. Let's attach the debugger and try this again in the debugger, and see if we can find out what the fuck's going on. There's some logic error, but it's not happening every time, which is weird. Let's attach to the Unity process for our debugger. And then we can restart the game. Then, because the first step of the gardening is moving, and that seems like it's working copacetically. But it's the second step with the gardener that is not working properly. Hey, Flist versus Studios. This is C# this is in Unity, so it's all written in C Sharp. We're using the Rider IDE, which comes from JetBrains. I get a subscription to it through work, so I use it, or I'd be using Visual Studio because I don't have the money to like pay for this subscription myself. But I really like Rider. It's got a couple things that are weird. Like its debugger seems to, which is probably more a Unity issue. Its debugger, when you attach the debugger, sometimes the Unity editor locks up. So that's probably more of a Unity issue because they do have bugs occasionally. So we've attached the debugger, and let's see. Let's cancel this, and we'll do another run, and let's put it into, make it one window so it's a little bit easier for everybody to see while we're running. And I don't like it being in maximize just because sometimes they like to pop back and forth between other elements. So we're going to run it now. The debugger's attached. We're going to keep doing gardening jobs for cutting down trees until we know what in the fuck is going on here. This one, race condition. At least that's what it seems like off the top of my head. Okay. Whoa. We have to redo all the input controls to be in the new Unity input control system. So we're gonna chop wood one by one. Gonna move, and then once we hit the garden, it's gonna pop out here. Okay, good. So we're in the debugger. That works. Let's see what we've got for our job list. Let's evaluate that. We want to be game data. Instance. What is the jobs list? And we want to watch that. There's one job in the list right now. Its job name is Go Garden. It has the steps. Oh, that's the job start. Where's the steps? These steps right here. 0 and 1. So move to. And then Go Garden Tree. And its job state is... So right now the move to is done. The job state for garden is in progress. Hey Comic, it is not going to be a mobile game. It's going to be a PC game. I don't think it would translate very well to mobile. Like being on a phone and trying to do everything you need, that would seem like a recipe for wanting to throw your fucking phone through a wall, because you'd have to like zoom into like a micro level to see colonists and build, and then you'd have to zoom out, and that seems like it wouldn't be fun. Like, would it? I mean, that doesn't seem like that would be something people would enjoy. Or maybe I'm wrong. Like, it's been a while since I played, like, mobile games, so I don't know if they've come far enough to really enjoy that. Snow Bunny says, does your game have an estimated release date, and are you going to release on Steam? I am going to release on Steam. Right now we've got builds that I do on itch.io. But as we grow the community, I'm going to use itch.io to get the game out to you guys in builds so that people can help me get feedback. I don't know how long it's going to take because it's just me. But I have been dedicating every day, like at least 4 hours a day on the weekdays and 10 to 13 on weekends to work on it. So yeah, it sounds like super cliche, but like the more you guys kick me in the ass, the faster we'll go. And like someone said earlier, like, hey, can I help? It's like, if you really want to help, sure. But I know when I see something and I have every intention of helping, and then real life gets in the way. So don't ever feel like if you want to help and then you change your mind, like just be like, I can't, real life. And it's like, don't worry about it. It's like no big deal. But don't worry about it unless you really think yeah, if you're serious, sure, we can give it a try. But yeah, don't feel like you're obligated to. It's no big deal. You said you have kids earlier, right? Old Lindo. How many kids do you have, and how do you have the time to work and do that at the same time? I have 2 kids, a boy and a girl. So I don't, during the day, since all the global quarantine stuff, I've been working from home, so I've had more time to help my wife. So she's doing the homeschooling now because the school system in Broward County is doing like teleschooling now. So she's basically being their teacher, and we're printing out exercises, and she's working with them all day. So she's doing the reason I have the time to do it is because she's amazing. Like, she's totally the saying behind, any great person, there's a spouse or significant other that's supporting them. Like, she is 100% supporting me, and she's always supported all the things I've done, because she's fucking amazing. I'm just working on some code, Moostiv. I'm trying to debug. Right now we have some weird condition where Not gonna let me go back because we're in the debugger. But we have some weird condition where jobs aren't correctly being done. So there's some logic gap where it's not actually doing the job correctly. So we're gonna step through now and kind of follow where that goes now. So this is gonna kick us off to the job function for gardening. Let's see what's FF11 step into, right? Did I go too far? Oh, it's actually, I think we went, is it back? Okay, so it's back in the game. Oh, so that time it worked. So this time, let's see if it works. We're gonna mine it, we're gonna garden again. Okay, so she's back here at gardening. That's a lot of hours to work on this. Yeah, on quiet, the reason is because before there was no like structure around it, like when I did it years ago, and that's why it like languished. So it's like now we're gonna make it a job, and we're gonna do it like it's a job. Because if it's entertaining for you guys to watch, and you guys want to see it done, then I would be a giant dickhead if I didn't like. Okay, these people want to play this, they want to help, so I'm accountable to you guys now. So if I'm accountable to you, that means that I need to get this done. So it needs to be worked on. So it's just simply a matter of putting the time into it. It's something I talked to my wife about first, like, hey, I'm gonna go whole hog in this now, and she was supportive as she always is, and we get to work on it. How could we help? I don't know how to code or do anything. Well, one thing you can do, Omnimation, is ideas like just some of the people in chat were helping, like, oh, I think you have like a logic bug, maybe you could do this or that, or like ideas like, man, it would be really cool if you could do this. Like someone was saying it'd be really cool if you could have like a family. So if there's ideas, let's share the ideas. I can make a forum or something. Either you submit the ideas and we'll have a mod like write them down so that we don't forget them and go through them as like a team, like a community of people that want this done. Oh, Zach, that's awesome, dude. Yeah, I've been doing. I hate calling myself a programmer because I'm not really as good at it as other people, and I have like total imposter syndrome. My day job is doing like software engineering for like businesses. So like writing games is similar, but it's like different enough that it's like totally new to me. So I have a lot to learn with it for sure. So any like help you can give me or pointers on like what I might be doing dumb, because I'm a big dumb dummy, like I would totally appreciate that. And that's awesome. I think a lot of people are working from home if they're lucky enough to work. Yeah, Scrappy, that's true. If you're working from home has been nice now. Like I'm in IT, so like working from home is, I would always like to work from home. But yeah, for people that actually having work is good. So I'm gonna start up. So we're very much I'm putting a lot of hours for the work too, because we're in the real estate industry, so we need to make sure we weather this storm and not go out of business. So we're putting in longer hours too, just to make sure we stay afloat, because it's gonna be bad. So we got to do. Hey, Blar, how you doing, sir? Dude, Blar, that's awesome. Like, well, I mean, it's awesome in one respect. Like, living alone is fun because then it's like you don't have anyone accountable. You don't have anyone like to tell you what to do, or you can just do what you want. But then, yeah. But I wouldn't trade my wife and kids for that. Although it's nice sometimes to get a break. But just like my wife, sometimes she wants a break, sometimes I want a break, sometimes the fucking kids want a break. It's just the way humanity is. I imagine a lot of programmers and IT people can work from home fairly easily. That is true. Ferngatrad? COVID-19 does suck. We call him Charmin-19 around here, because we can wipe our ass with him. Hey, and Sweets, I've been streaming. So overnight I stream, because I start work in like another couple hours, and then after work I work on some stuff for the game privately, and I hang out with the family for a little bit, and then but yeah, every morning I'm here from like 2 a.m. Eastern, so whatever it was an hour ago for you guys is when I start, and then I'll go till like 4 hours, 3 or 4 hours after that, and then the weekends I try to do all day. So I mostly get like a European crowd because I'm overnight, except on the weekends. The weekends I'm in the day. But it's really been fun to meet all you guys. One of my mods, Philip, he's from Germany, so he likes to ride his Panzer around. He wants to make sure we put like a mod to have a Panzer ride into Poland. Jokingly, of course. He's a good dude. I'm really surprised this isn't being put on by a game dev studio. One of my viewers Alien rated me because he's fucking amazing. So I got to remember to go and subscribe to him after, because that was really awesome of him to do, and I really appreciate it. Like, that's the kind of stuff I don't ever forget. Like, I'm a big softy, so when someone does something nice for me, I don't ever forget the niceness, and I try to pay that niceness forward. That's just kind of the way I look at the world. So we're gonna step into the gardener tree, and we're just gonna follow it. And so, you mother... Oh no, this is right. Okay, because we want to see what happens. So right now we're in the job function. That's gonna call the runner, and then we're gonna step into the coroutine. Well, not that fucking coroutine. So what is it to step out? Control Shift F11? Okay. I don't want to be in here. That's a little too deep. Step out. Step out, sucker. There we go. Okay, now step in. I'd like to step into the job function, but not the how a daggone coroutine works. Okay. Okay, we're gonna do the go garden. Step out of here. Step in. Let's turn that one back on. And the job runner. Boop. How did we get down there? Why in the world are we here now? Put a block there. Let's resume. And that should take us back into the game. Okay, so where are we right now? We're in a job. What fucking job are we in? Charmin 19. Wipe your ass with them. So the goal tonight, Smart Master, is... The goals today are fixing this bug. Oh, I gotta fix this fucking green screen. It is driving me fucking bonkers. I'm sorry. I hate to do it, but it's really making me angry. It's being such an asshole. Ugh. Hopefully that is better now. One of my kids came in and like messed with the green screen. It's a low budget green screen, which is why it's got waviness in it. Whenever I get that, one day I'll get that green screen money. If I get I should be getting my taxes back soon. So I was gonna buy like a more professional green screen so it doesn't flicker like that, because that fucking drives me nuts. So the goal for today, Smarter, sorry, is we're gonna fix the bug with the job system. So we're having issues where occasionally a job isn't getting done right. So once we get that done, we've got the issue done, and then the job system's going to be stable. Stable's not the right word I'm looking for, but it'll work. Like, motherfucking green screen, you piece of shit. It's on. Okay, I'm just gonna fucking crop my side off. Yeah, fuck you, green screen. Yeah, you think you got? Yeah. What do you think now? Huh? Go fuck yourself. Piece of garbage. Okay. So we're gonna get this job system done. We need to get it. It is the core to the gameplay loop, so it has to fucking work. It has to work flawlessly, and it can't be like, oh, I wanted to fucking pick a tree and the tree fucking just... No, that would drive people crazy. So we got to fix that. We implemented a basic 2D shader this morning, and we implemented, we converted the project to use the lit lighting versus the unlit default sprite shader. So we'll be able to do some interesting stuff with shaders and lighting soon when we get there. But the biggest thing we need to get done today is just make the job system be reliable. And we've come a long way in the past couple days. We've refactored a bunch. We've made some things. We converted from some bools to more of like a state machine layout with like enums for the jobs and the job steps. If you have any suggestions, by all means, I appreciate it. Belar's in Germany. Oh, never mind. He already said that. Somebody asked, have you decided how many players this game will support? Playing together or will it be single player? So the first part is obviously going to be single player, but the thing that people mention is like, hey, I'd like multiplayer elements. So if there's a way that you think it would work and be fun and compelling, then we're early enough along that we can plan for that. So, one of the ideas was like you're spawn as a family, or do we have like one person has one colony over here and one person has a colony on the other side of the map, and then they can commingle that way, kind of like The Sims. Like, what do you think makes sense, Snowbuddy? Green paper would work, but I need to do... Right now I've just got a sheet over like a clothing rack to do it, but I don't have any like stand for like green paper, so I have to put time into that. And it's like between working with this and then family time, I don't have a ton of time to research that kind of stuff, so I just went low tech with a sheet, with a blue sheet. So I will eventually get there, but I don't have much free time left in the day as it is to do things. Oh, nice, more Germans. We have lots of Germans here. You guys are good people. Like, we've got a lot of Europeans, like some people from the UK hang out here, someone from Portugal, Germany, someone was in Finland, Denmark. Yeah, it's fun. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Reactioner. God, man, I'm so bad with reading names, especially like European names. Actually, I'm just bad at reading. I'm dyslexic, so it's really hard for me to like the word I key off of your name is like reaction and reactin. So it's like, I appreciate it. I try to be good. Like, I'm very like, people either gonna love me or hate me, because I just like say what I want to say. I don't try to be politically correct, but I don't try to be mean either. Like, I'll say what the truth is, but I'm not gonna be mean and rude to people. Like, I don't want people being rude to me, so I don't want to be rude to other people. That would be like a dick thing. I try to follow the golden rule. But thank you for the compliment. What do I do with my hands? So let's keep stepping through here. So what's the job we're in right now? So we can see the context we're in. The current context we're in is we have my job, which is go garden tree. Okay. Which is good. The job state is done, motherfucker. Where did you get the done from? Okay. So we have to skip out of here and then go to another tree because it's already in the state where it's done, but the sprite didn't get removed. We need to find the state when it's in progress. Oh, I wonder... Yeah, because in progress doesn't change anything. So we need to run again. And then we need to run again. So we're back into the gameplay. Are we back into the game now? Or did the editor just fucking finally give up the ghost and lock up again? Of course the editors... Hello? Hello? Let's see if we can pause and get it back. Or if we're just dead. We might have to restart the Unity editor. You want that outfit? You just want a Raven shirt? Good old Passette pockets. It's a Baltimore Ravens t-shirt. So, Zach, I think what's wrong, there's obviously some fucking logic error. So let me walk through while we restart the Unity editor, because it decided it wanted to take it does not like being attached to the debugger for too long, I've noticed. And I don't know if that's something I'm doing wrong or just Unity being Unity. So we just bounce the editor, let's bring it back up. Bring it back up, let's reload the project. While it's loading, I'll kind of talk through a high level of what the what we've got for the system, Zach. So right now, the jobs come through. We call this job runner, which is supposed to run a job. So it takes the job in, and then it checks the name of the job. By default, we have jinvoke no, which means don't do anything here, just loop through and do no work. So it's defaulting to do no work. It grabs the current step, which is just an integer that starts with 0, because 0 means that a... Hey, thank you for the follow, Dr. Javasaurus. Welcome to the Bisser Brigade, as said by my kindergartner. So the job steps start at 0, because that's how you know that a job step hasn't been started. It defaults to 0. We walk through here. The very first thing we do is we grab the step name, because the step name is what we use to determine what function we call. Like, it'll either be move to call the move function, or construct wall. Like, this will be a switch statement of all the different type of jobs when we were done. But right now I've only implemented, but these are actually in different files instead of just being a switch statement here. So this will keep it a little bit more abstract, because I wanted to also support modding. So I wanted to make things as easy to extend as possible. So that's one of the big design keys we're going with so far. So why do we do? Oh, that's also dumb. So we start to saying invoke false, but then we set it to true here, which that's kind of dumb. We should probably put that inside of we invoke for that, and then we invoke for. Yeah, we only need to invoke when it's not started, because in progress it's already got something to do. Or does it? Interesting. So do we default? Okay. Well, if one of these is here, we don't need this one up here for sure. Oh. Then we'll just set it to true here. Okay, so we default to true, but I don't want it in two fucking places. So then we get to the switch statement, it says, check the current job, check the job step, and then the current step state, because each job step has a state. Not started means it hasn't been started yet. In progress is obviously when it should be doing work, the character should be looping around doing what it's supposed to do. And done is when the job is done. And then what we do when the job step is done is we call off to a helper function with the job, and that checks to see, is there another step to this job? If there is not another step, then we run this, which finishes the job, which marks it as done, which then sets it up to be cleaned up by the cron that cleans up jobs that are done. If it does have another step, then we increment the job step, and then we call this job again, and then we yield back. I think yield break yields out. Let me see. Maybe that's what I'm fucking up, because maybe I'm not doing the enumerator right. Because what I want to happen is I want it to yield and just quit out. I don't want it to fall further below into the code. So maybe I'm fucking that up. So let's see. Unity I enumerator. And while that's coming up, let's check chat. Front page riot. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Zach, it shouldn't. The editor shouldn't be a problem with the debugger. Yeah, it shouldn't be, because it's not stuck in code as far as I can tell. But with the Visual Studio, I didn't seem to have that issue. So I don't know if it's like a Rider thing or a Unity thing. I know how Unity is, and they normally have like weird bugs. So I'm expecting it to be more of a Unity thing. But yeah, it's weird. Because if there was some sort of while loop, you'd see that in the normal game where it wouldn't run. Damn it, I forgot to save, or I saved with these guys with the shader still fucked up. Let me fix the shader real quick and get that's the one thing about killing the editor. So we were working on a 3D shader last night where we followed a tutorial to make an interesting effect to, like, when people die, they just kind of blow up and disintegrate. Because we wanted to convert from the unlit sprite shaders. So let's save that. Let's delete those guys. Save this thing. Save the project. And let me reopen it. Because Unity has a weird thing where if you have to kill the editor, some things aren't saved properly. So exiting the project's a good way to make sure you 100% save everything the way you want it to be saved. Beecher or Betcher had says, I have no idea what you guys are saying, but I'm so fascinated. Well, thank you, sir, or madam, I appreciate it. I'm on the front page of what? Dude, I'm doing Let 'em Dare this week, and it's gonna be awesome. I'm like super excited about it too. This will be like my 4th or 5th one, and I hope I don't know, I'm excited. Let 'em Dares are always a good time, especially for like a novice programmer like me. I've never seen job used like that. Usually it's a create job, schedule, check if it's completed. I've never seen jobs used like that. Usually it is create job, schedule, and check if completed. Do you have an example, Zach? But I don't do a lot of jobs. I usually do my own threading before using Unity jobs. Yeah, dude, I'm excited because when I started this, like, I always tried to keep things like it would at work with like a model view component style where the data was decoupled from mono behavior, because mono behavior is a sack of shit to work with. So now that they've got the entity component system, I can't wait to like write code for that, because that will make sure like we can get to a lot more objects moving on this in the game, and it works, right? Because they actually, as long as we keep the data decoupled from mono behavior bullshit, we can do like a ton of cool shit with like people without having to have like supercomputers. It's gonna be fucking awesome, and I'm super excited about it. Like, there's no Unity job stuff in here. There's no entity component system stuff in here yet. I just wrote this thing called the job system. It's, I don't want you to confuse it with anything from Unity. Like, this is all homemade garbage. So basically compare it to a big kitchen. You as a chef can tell the saucier, a thread, you want it to do something. Yeah, so I've dabbled in like threading, but it's so complicated to have things actually be thread safe that I hadn't taken the plunge to do that yet. That's why I'm just going to leverage, ECS, because they're the big brains that can think of all that hard stuff, as long as I can follow more simple instructions. Oh, thanks for trying to teach people, Zach. You guys are awesome. The problem with threads is that sometimes the saucier and the guy doing the dishes both grab for a plate at the same time, and they won't let go. Yeah, and then the one guy fucking cracks the dish in half, and the other guy's like, what the fuck? You cracked my dish in half. I was expecting a full dish. And then the guy's like, well, I really want it to be a quarter dish. So it's like, that's why I avoid threads, because they're really hard. It's like everyone's like, this is really easy, and it's like, no, that is really, really big brain work there. And my brain, I have a big head, but my brain in there is just like pretty small by comparison. I've been working with Unity, Tony, since probably, I think, version 3. So I was just doing, the very first thing I can recall doing was, I was like, I'm gonna make a SimCity clone, because there's no SimCity games out, and I missed that. And that was fucking hard, so I just wasted a bunch of time at that, but I learned Unity a little by little. So yeah, like 2012-ish, I think, whatever Unity 3 or 4 was, because I started with 3, and then I went into 4, and then there was 5, and then after 5 it went to like just 2017. So it's been a while. And then they call it a deathlock, which sounds so cool, but it's not cool. Yeah, like, hey, stoneth, that's a great word. And it's like, stone the other one in the head, be like, who the fuck made up that name? That's a fucking brutal name. Like when I first started doing like sysadmin work and learning about like ooming out of memory and like the thread reaper, I read that first and it was saying it's reaping children PIDs. I was like, I read it the first time as like thread raper, and I was like, it's raping child PIDs. Like, why is it raping children? Like, what the fuck? Like, Unity or Linux is brutal. And then my friend's like, that's part of my being dyslexic. My friend's like, it's Reaper, you moron. It's like, oh, Reaper. That makes a lot more sense. So it's not raping children, it's reaping them. Big difference. Subtle, I think. So, Zach, do you have, if you look up Google scheduling Unity jobs, that's usually how I see Unity jobs used. Okay, let's go do that. I appreciate it, Zach. Because there's always a better way to do it, and I know I'm a big dumb dummy. Scheduling jobs. At first, to schedule a job in the main thread, you must initiate the job, populate the job data, and call the schedule. Oh, this is actually the job system. Oh, actually, yeah, why the fuck don't we use the job system, Zach? Unless it's going to take a ton of shit to refactor, but yeah, we might as well use it since that's got all the job system has all the ECS stuff out of the box, right, Zach and others? What did I do? You've got a big brain, Dr. Java. That's what you did. Dr. Java, you gave people the gift of laughter. Laughter makes life better. I firmly believe that. Create a native array of a single point float. Okay. Start from beginning. Initiate the job, populate the job's data, set the schedule, call the schedule method. Calling schedule puts the job into the job queue for execution at the appropriate time. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's totally cool that this gets us multi-threading out of the box with. So I guess this is ECS then, right, Zach? In a way, as long as we keep the data segregated from a mono behavior, then we should be good. Oh, maybe I'm conflating like ECS, Unity ECS. Then maybe I'm conflating Unity ECS. Okay, that's just the core of their stack. Okay. Okay, so ECS is more like thinking like model view component, where you break. That's what it reminds me of. It's like when Yohim, or how the fuck you say his name, the CTO and co-founder of Unity, was up on the stage talking about like, you really got to decouple your data from mono behaviors because mono behaviors suck. And I was like, preach it. That's what I've tried to do because I noticed early on, like when you attach, mono behavior can fucking wreck your FPS. So if I just have raw data classes, it always worked a lot better. So that's why the main game data object is actually just a data class. And that's also going to help for when we tried to, we originally had the game serializing out to a save file, but I've ripped that code out because it's no longer supported. So I'm just going to write my own library. Oh, one of the things we did while we have people here is so I went over from a system called Sprite Tile, which isn't really maintained anymore. I re-implemented the whole system using Unity's Sprite Tile system, and in like true Unity fashion, in my opinion, they give you a bunch of awesome tools, but they don't ever give you great examples on how to do them, and it's kind of clunky. So I went ahead and I wrote a DLL that'll wrap some of the pain in the ass stuff that you get with Unity, and I kind of open sourced it. Where is it? It's Tile Manager. So it's called Tile Manager, but I open source it for anyone that wants to work with Sprite Tile stuff because it's such a pain in the ass. So I made this, Tile Manager here for anyone that wants to work with Unity sprites and have like a more simple way to work with it, because the way they do it, the way that Unity does it is just, for me it was like super hard to grok. So I wrote helper functions to do all the stuff like set a tile, delete a tile, set tile blocks, like do all the steps you want to do, but do them a lot more simply than the way Unity has. Unity makes it like it's 4 steps. And it's like, fuck that, just 1 step. Give me a tile map, give me a grid, and then tell me what the sprite you want to do, and then what layer. Like, so you just pass in 4 things into one function, and it'll do all the new hotness for you. Or maybe 5, because you need the position too. So it makes it a little bit easier. So that's open source for anyone that wants to use it for any of their projects, or help it make it better. Where do you do classes, Dr. Java? Because if you do classes, I always like to learn. I mean, I don't have a ton of time to do it, but at night I try to read, before bed. Nice. I've never been to university, Dr. Java. One day I'd like to go. Like, I'm all self-taught, which is probably why I'm a big dumb dummy. Because I'm not a great teacher. Okay. Thank you, Comic. I appreciate it. Yeah, dude, the tile map. The thing that I like about this is the old system I was using, I had to set per tile, like the collider, that I like that we do have set up in... We're totally going on a bit of a jaunt. So we've got the wall layer actually has the composite collider, and then it's got the tile map collider, it's got the composite collider, and it's got used by composite. So it does all of the work for managing the colliders for me. That is way easier than what I had to do in the past with the old system that I paid for. So it's good. I don't anymore. I got my PhD 2 years ago, and that kind of told me, okay, bye now. Well, congratulations for getting your PhD. That's awesome. One day I would like to be a big brain like that and go to university, but I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever... If I go to school, I'd like to do it for something I want to do. Like there's, I think New Hampshire in the United States has a degree in military history, because I really like military history a lot, like Napoleonic Wars, World War II, like ancient wars. Like that would be cool. Like get a degree in something that I want to learn about, not that I think I need to learn to do well in life and have like a good job. Because at least with the computers, you don't need that. If you can learn on your own, then you should be good to go. Hey, thanks, Huggles. Welcome, sir. I'll give you a co-hi. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody hanging out. It's been years since I've had like 100 people in chat. Since I used to play like Arma 3 roleplay back in the day. Like that's the last time I ever had a ton of viewers. So this is cool, and I owe it all to Alien. I'm gonna go give a big fat stinky sub to later. What the fuck? Someone donated $1,000 to you? Yeah, that was Crimson. That was one of my longtime mods. Like he, I was playing a game and I was telling him how excited I was to play Half-Life Alyx, but I needed to save up the $1,000 to buy the index, and he fucking did that to me. There's actually a command for it. I think it's that. What the hell is it? God damn it! I'm the worst. Let me find it, because it was really. They made fun of how I reacted to it, because I was just like, what the fuck did you what do I do with my hands? They kind of broke me a little bit, which was, super fun. Where is it? I am the worst. Let's see, right yonder. Oh, I'm a dummy, that's why. So you can see, like, he did it because he wanted me to be able to buy the index. So I put in the order for the index. I've got the $1,000 sitting in a corner. And then they said, Valve said in 2 months they'll reach out to me and then they'll charge me. Then I can get the index and then I can play Half-Life Alyx for you guys. And I've never done VR before, so I'm like, it's going to be fucking awesome. I'm like I don't really get like, I try to be pretty level. I don't try to be, I am pretty level most of the time. But like, man, seeing that VR, I was like, dude, this is super cool. I'm super excited. I'm like really jazzed. It's awesome. LD46 is Ludum Dare 46 Recondit. It's a game jam. It's Ludum Dare's game jam. It's going to be this weekend, which me and a bunch of other coders are going to work on it. It's like a 48-hour thing where, well, you can do 48 hours or 72 hours, but I do it as 48. So it's where we're going to start like Friday night through Sunday night, and you make a game based on some theme. It's really fucking awesome. It's really cool. Like the guy that I normally watch do it is Quill18. He's fucking awesome. Like he's a fucking badass. He's a BAMF for sure. He's a good dude. Oh, Crimson. I'm sorry to hear you're learning Java. I'm just kidding. We used Java when I worked at Chewy, and I used it when it came out in 1996. I haven't really touched it since then. I wasn't really in love with it. It kind of sucked. But I've heard people tell me it's gotten a lot better than it did in 1996, which was like 25 years ago. So I should probably check it out again. Holy fuck, I'm old. Oh, Jesus. So let's go. Let's look at the job system that Zach mentioned forever ago. Okay. An example. And see, here's one of the things that like drives me crazy with Unity is like this, they don't give you the best real world examples. But maybe this is a break from that. But normally they give you like shitty real world examples that don't really help me rock it. So it's not really shitty. I'm the dumb one. I'm not trying to sound critical. Sorry. I'm the big dumb dummy. So create a native array of single float to store the result in. The example waits for the job to complete for illustration purposes. So how would we translate this? Because it has to be a data class. So how would we translate this into the job? Because the normal job is move somewhere. When you get there, wait a certain amount of time, and then replace a sprite. Or run some animation. So let's see, how would we run that? Oh, thanks. Thanks for saying that, Fern. I don't think I'm the best, but unless you weren't talking to me and it's like, huh, you dummy. C# is discount Java. Then maybe I will like Java then. And I didn't necessarily have a choice in learning C# Java. It was either, when I started with Unity, it was either you write in JavaScript, fuck that. I do JavaScript for my day job too, like fuck that. Or use Boo, or do C#. And C# seemed like the most professional of all of them, because back then Unity was kind of like not the most. And Unreal didn't have a, start writing code with us at the time. So it was just, they didn't give a fuck. They're like, give us money and then you can use Unreal Engine. So Unity really kicked everyone in the ass, and they've pushed the market forward for people that want to make games. Like, you can love or hate Unity, but if, like, games like KSP, games like fucking RimWorld, there's hundreds of games that are Unity games now, and they wouldn't exist. If Unity wasn't a thing, we might not have these games. Like, KSP wouldn't have been made if Felipe had to get a license for Unreal to do his job, What's the difference between JavaScript and Java? Oh my goodness. There's a big difference between JavaScript and Java. They are totally fucking different. I kind of forgot. Are you allowed to create certain components for the 70? Like game option sound? Yeah, you can do whatever you want in Java. You can make whatever you can get done. Like there's different rules. Like there's I think it's like the comp. I think it's called the comp. Which that one is supposed to be like the old school, like you have to make everything yourself. But there's other ones that you can use pre-made components as long as they're open sourced and you share the source code. And anything you make, you have to share the source for. Which is cool because then that helps other people look at what you did and learn from it. So it's got twofold of like, you make cool games and you're putting resources out there for others who want to follow in your footsteps from. In my opinion, it should be allowed since some game engines have it out of the box. I agree with you. dude, Crimson, go for it. Java and JavaScript are different. Like if you go down the JavaScript track, you can get into like the Node track, which is a really good job for like full stack or front end developers these days. Java, there's also tons of jobs. Like at Chewy, I don't work there anymore, but they were hiring like 50 to 100 Java developers. Like there's always need for Java stuff. So both of those tracks will probably be pretty good career choices for you these days for now. Of course you can post a link, Zach, go for it. Nightbot doesn't castrate you for links yet. I mean, it might if chat gets ridiculous eventually, but for now you can do it. Dude, thanks, Zach. I appreciate it. Boop. Let's see. 25 minutes. I'll have to look at that later then, because I don't want to sit here and watch a video for 25 minutes with you guys. But let's see. Okay, then let's pin that for later. Then I'll do this as some homework. Homework. Unity, because maybe we'll dig in that tomorrow. Unity jobs. Hey, thank you for the follow, Crimson. Welcome to the Biscuit Brigade, as said by my kindergartner. Jobs system. There, we've got our homework for tonight. For after the day job's done. I'm working in a big pharma company to make a multi-user VR collaboration drug design platform. Dude, that's awesome, Dr. Java. I had an interview with a company that does augmented reality stuff. I didn't want to leave the startup I'm at now, because the startup I'm at now could make me financially able to be a little bit more picky in life and what I do, and maybe even open up a legitimate game studio and take this thing like professional if it goes good. But it was really cool. I was looking at some of the stuff they were doing for this AR company that's near where I live in South Florida. That should tell you all you need to know. That shit is fucking cool. Like, there's going to be a lot of people that do it for sex, but for stuff like sequencing genes and things that like you can do minority report style like look through, it's like, holy shit, that is amazing. Which is why I was even more excited for like VR. Like, dude, this isn't like going to be like the 3D TV fad where it's like buy a 3D TV and then nobody does it anymore. It's like this could just revolutionize learning and porn and everything. Like, it's got so many facets. Basically show a molecule and scientists can manipulate it and develop new drugs and interact with it. Dude, that is so fucking cool, Java. Like, dude, that is awesome. Like, really cool, Java. I work in a real estate startup, Quiet. So we're batting down the hatches to try to get through this downturn with Sharma 19. Oh, hey Crimson, nice. We're in Florida. I'm in South Florida in Broward County, in near Parkland, which most people should know. Almost Tony Stark levels are cool. Nice. Okay. So we have the homework to look at the Unity job system later, but for now, let's keep stepping through this job. Let's see, do we have the debugger? Okay, let's reattach since we had to restart the editor. What in the fuck is this? I'm not feeling that song. Go away, please. Oh, not you. Oh, actually, it got better. I can live with that. At first, I was like, this song is making my ears bleed. Oh, nice. Cool. That's awesome. I almost moved to Kissimmee, like, before I moved to California. But then I went to California instead. But I like Kissimmee. It was like quaint. You were close enough to Disney to enjoy Disney and Universal, but it was quaint, so you didn't have to deal with all the fucking shitheads in Orlando. No offense to, I'm in the Land O'Lakes. Okay, so we attached the debugger. Let's step through it again and see if we can figure out what the deal's. Hey Pew, how you doing, sir? Good morning. Hello. The security department is always like the no fun department. But, you know, in their defense, the security department are also the ones that are trying to protect you from all the shit that you don't think about. I mean, sometimes they're just dicks. Don't get me wrong, but the good ones are just they're just trying to balance protecting you versus, which is hard because it's like that balance of like I need to do my job, but you guys are being total shitbergs about it. What did you kick me off there for? What am I? Why is the runner running there? Why are we stopped here from adding the job? Yeah, let's see. Where's the log? I made a helicopter with 55 Gatlins. I'm back at work today. Oh, I'm sorry, Pew. But at least you got that 4-day weekend, man. That's something. Well, this is a multi-million-dollar patent business, so I kind of understand it. Yeah, I totally understand the security aspect. I'm sure you've got lots of people that will actively try to steal that if your stuff is really that good. Like, there are people that are gunning for your shit, so... Yeah, that would be somebody's losing their job and some business is going out, and somebody's probably getting sued into oblivion for that shit. I made a helicopter with 54 Gatlins and the ability to change time for objects, like gives everything its own timeline. Dude, that's cool. Hey, see you, Beecher. Thank you for stopping by. Good morning, Philip. How are you doing, sir? Alien, you remember Alien, Philip? He raided us this morning with a fucking big fucking raid because he's a fucking badass. Like what a good guy. I got a sub to him too. I just forget how to spell his name. No, I don't know what to do with my hands this morning. How'd your day go yesterday, Philip? We're still trying to debug this motherfucking job system that's being a pain in my dick. Sorry for being salty with my language. It's just frustrating. But we can figure this out together, chat. We got this. So it won't really be cheating if I made the project no game contact before the event, right? So it's all honor system. So if you want to pre-make... If there's also the layer where you don't have to do the compo. You can just say, I'm going to do the 48-hour one, and I made some of my own assets. Like, no one's going to... All you do, if you make your own assets, you can just say in the scoring thing, say, don't grade me for these because I made these before. Like, this wasn't 48 hours worth of work. And then you can still use them. And then people will still grade you. Like, it's not... There's no prize to win other than just, like, the feeling of accomplishment. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go grade other people's projects, and they're going to grade yours. And it's going to be like, man, look at all the, like, the creativity that we did with this one theme of, like, eating bagels on a Wednesday. It's like... Or whatever the themes are. I don't know what they are. I always wait till the last day to watch Quill and to sit with him while he's figuring out what he's going to do. And then we just brainstorm it out, which we'll do Friday. Whenever it happens Friday, we'll brainstorm this out together and see what we want to do for the Let 'em Dare. Because I'm excited. And it'll be a good palate cleanser to cleanse us from this bullshit we're dealing with now. And kind of have a break so we don't lose our minds. Okay. Let's see. So we're in here. The job got created. Can I see the Unity? There it is. I want to see the Unity logs. Oh, perfect. Okay. So we got into here. We added a chop mode job. Okay. The Atlas was compiled. Inside job, Go Gardener. Okay, so it's inside the Go Gardener job. Okay. So we hit chop select, it added the job, Okay, that's why we're in this loop right now. Okay, so let's step through it and see what we get. Just to follow the whole progression. So we're in the job, it's got the step. Oh, and let me see the debug, because I want the debug data. Okay. Current step is Go Garden. Current step name is Go Garden Tree. And then the job steps. So the job is in progress. So the job overall is in progress because it's been assigned. So the two steps for this job are move to and then garden. They're both have been not started yet, so that's good. Hey Shadow Sue, good morning, sir. How are you doing? I hope you're having a good morning. Let me catch on what the doc is saying. You're Dr. Java to me. With the power of chat, you can do anything. You know, you know Rasputin? That's true. Like, I can't express to you, like, even when it's just one person, how much different my mental attitude is
and I can't fuck off, I have to. Here, let me do the North Star. Philip showed me this, and this guy is exactly like how I feel. Like, I'm accountable to you guys. I have to focus. I can't fuck off and be like, this is hard. Let me go watch YouTube videos and jerk off or something. Like, you have to focus because chat's here. They're holding you accountable and they're making sure you stop being a lazy piece of shit. It feels like I could easily win a full day. We used to use compo, but in the lockdown situation, I can't dump the kids somewhere. Oh, I understand, Dr. Java. Dude, the whole world is different right now. So just, if you got to cheat, cheat. Like, I'm thankful that I've got my, my wife is helpful. She always talks about like, oh, I'm not contributing, I need to get a job. I'm like, baby, being a mom is like, they did the math. It's like $150,000 a year job to be a mom. I'm like, you're being a mom and now you're being the teacher. Like, you're teaching the kids. Like, don't, you're awesome. And because I tried it when she was working back when we had the baby. So I tried alternating. It's hard. Like, I don't think I have the mental patience to be as patient as she is with some stuff with the kids. I'm ashamed to admit it. I try really hard, and I've gotten a lot better, but I sometimes do not have the patience, and it's something I constantly work on. You cheat all you need, Dr. Java. You can do this. Yeah, I mean, if you get in the top 10, then I need to fucking be like, hey, buddy, you want to come and help me write some code, doctor? Help make this thing actually a fun game. That's awesome. And I don't know, maybe, like, my dream would be, like, we make enough money off this to open, like, a real studio. Or do something. Like, what I want to do is, here's why, the start I'm at now. I have a chance to be in a good financial position. But I don't want to be in a financial position that's good to be, like, a billionaire and be, like, a greedy prick. I'd like to be able to, like, put my kids through college. I want to buy my parents the home that we grew up in that my dad lost in the recession in, like, 2000, in that time. I'd like to do better things for the world. Like, I want to help the world be a better place. I don't want to just, like, hoard money. Like, I want to be comfortable, but I don't need a ton of stuff. And I want to help the world be better. I want to, like, see people that are, like, we're in my position where it's like, they're trying, hey, thank you, Unique Coder, for the follow. Welcome to the Biscuit Brigade. So I'm like a bleeding heart. I want to make the world better. I want to try to do better. Like, this is going to sound like totally condescending thing to do, but I always try to do the right thing. Like, I signed up for bone marrow donations because it was the right thing to do. I donate blood because it's the right thing to do. I've donated bone marrow twice to people that I don't even know because it's the right thing to do. Like, I want to do, like, I need my good to outbalance my bad because I've got bad parts. So I want my good to be a net positive. I want to leave the world in a better place than I found it. Even though I can be a piece of shit sometimes. Full disclosure, I can be a total asshole. It's gotten less since I've gotten older, but I still have issues. Sorry for ranting for so long. This is called Chiptunes, Crimson. It's the music I'm listening to in the background, called Chiptunes. I have to admit, I cheated. You made me choke. I don't want to be greedy, Crimson. Yeah, I'm be positive, which I remember because I always try to be positive. Like, when shitty shit happens, I try to, like, find the light in it. Following you on Twitch, should I do the same on YouTube? Cherished, you can follow me on YouTube if you'd like. I haven't had the time to do, like, editing stuff. Like, I wanted to put the VODs up on Twitch, but I couldn't find a way to quickly, like, chop the VODs into, like, 30-minute sections and export them, so I haven't been doing that. I would like to, though, but I just have limited time, and I'm trying to be more realistic with what I can do and not bite off too much to chew. Dude, that's awesome, Dr. Java. That's a good... I like good people, and I try to be a good person, and I like other good people. Like, that's... The world these days, like, there's so many people that try to pull us apart and highlight our differences, and I like to highlight our similarities. You know? We all just want to have fun, we all just want to have love and have a good life and be able to provide for our families and just enjoy living, and, like, I agree with that 100%. And we're a lot more similar than people. It's gonna make me tear up, so I gotta stop being all mushy. I'm a big softie. Just, yeah, I'm very passionate about, you know, uniting not dividing. As someone once said, I'm a uniter, not a divider. Okay, so it starts as not started, so this should flip it over to this step right here should go from not started in progress, if this is working properly. Okay, so it's in progress now. Sweet. Now we're gonna break. Where are we going from here? Boop. Okay, so we drop down here. And then we're gonna run the invoke is true, so we're gonna run the move. So the character is gonna start looping. Okay, you're in the switch is gonna be move to. Hey, see you, Philip. Dude, I hope you have a good time, Philip. I hope you have good luck with getting your Fiverr thing. Philip recently, Philip's in Germany, and he recently got the can where he's working, so he's working on finding a new gig. So if any of you guys need an IT specialist, Philip is your dude. So help that guy out, because he's a really good guy. See you, Philip. Okay. Let's step through. It should jump into move to, right? And it's hopefully. Let's see. Boop. Awesome. So we're going to call the move function, so we're going to step into that. Boop. Awesome so far. And then... So we're back here. How did we get back here? Where did we get back here from? I didn't step into the roll, so I gotta look at the logs and see what it says. Hey, Feigned. Feigned? Agnifer. Hello, Feigned Agnifer. I don't know what that means, but hello. And I might have said it wrong because I'm dyslexic and a bit of a bozo. Okay, so we're trying to... Right now we're working on a game called Space Western Survival. It's a RimWorld clone, a RimWorld and Dwarf Fortress and Firefly kind of inspired game in that kind of vein. So we're trying to debug right now why certain jobs are not being done properly. And then we have homework for tonight from Zach to go through and look at the Unity job system to see if I can do that after work. And then we'll come back tomorrow and see if we've made any progress with it. Because I don't want to, what I don't want to do is I don't want to spend time ripping something out if there's no benefit. But what I do want to do is, like Zach said, if we can use the job system, we can be in a position where we can scale the game a lot more. We can have hundreds of things on the screen moving around versus like tens of them. So I think that it's actually a good call. So if we can do homework to get the groundwork laid so you guys aren't watching me watch like a 25-minute video to learn, then I think that's the right thing to do. Okay, so we've fallen through there. And then we yield break. Okay, so now it's back to the coroutine. So let's step out. Let's step out of here. And now we should be back into the game, right? Or no. Oh no, we're back to the job again. Okay, so let's see. It's running move next. I always wonder why no one made a game where it's monster versus monster like a classic Godzilla game. Oh, like that old fucking like Rampage. Is that what you're talking about? Well, Rampage is more like monster versus building. But it would be like what, Godzilla versus Mothra kind of fighting? That's actually not a bad idea. You should work on that for your Let 'em Dare game over the weekend. It could be like Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, but with Godzilla versus Mothra. Or whatever that fucking creature was from, what was the movie? The Pacific or whatever? Pacific Rim? Like whatever the fuck that monster is. Those monsters versus the human in the big suit versus the monster. Okay. So let's step through this motherfucker. What's our current status while we're looking? So this job is done. The move to had finished. Okay, so the move to is done. And then let's put a break. Just in case, I want to put brakes there and brakes here so we don't ever miss them. And then I would like to also, I think we're good here with this. And then, because we've got a break at the top of the other funnel. Yes, I'm not that far into coding. I'm just learning Java at the moment. One of the one of the neat things is as you're learning, like once you learn like Java and or JavaScript to like the level where you're competent to like the way I view like progression in like human engineering is you start at the bottom. You start as like the level 1 guy, and then the level 1 guy when you're the junior guy. So you don't know how to architecturally think of all the pieces of a project. And then but you can be given pieces like do this piece, and then you can do that piece with help from more senior people. And then like the next level up is when you're like the middle level. So you can be given a task where you still can't grok the architectural overall layer, and you can't build the whole architecture out in your mind. You can be given like a say, hey, make this function that does opens and closes this door on the web page. And then you're a mid-level guy, so a mid-level person, so you know how to accomplish that goal. You don't necessarily know how it fits in with the bigger picture, but you can get that piece done. And then once you get to the senior level, like you know how that piece works, you know how to add new pieces to that, you know how to see how they fit together. You can visualize in your head, like, because that's the important part, is like you can visualize in your head, or you can whiteboard out how everything connects, and then you can visualize not only doing that for a system that already exists, but you can be told, let's make a system that makes a fighting game between robots. So then you can think of all the pieces like in your head, like, well, you need like the monster controller, and you need like a AI for that, and you need to kind of have a fighting controller. You can think of all the pieces you need. So that's like your progression. That's your story arc as you get better in your career and with your code. Well, thanks, Comic. I appreciate it. Hello, by the way. Let 'em Dare is the right place to see games like that. There's so many talented people. Dude, Shadow, are you doing Let 'em Dare this weekend? I'm doing it too. I'm excited. Like, I'm super duper 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 excited. Like, I could have sworn I did Let 'em Dare 45, but I know that was last year. So did they really wait a year or what? But just, Crimson, always believe in yourself and never be scared to ask for help. Asking for help and saying, I don't know this, is totally a sign of strength. The people that will not ask for help are the ones that are the skeevy, shitty people that don't like to admit that they don't know something, which is stupid. Nobody knows everything. It's a sign of strength to ask. Your leaders will see that you're asking for help and you're being honest, and they will see that you're the right stuff, and they'll promote you. As long as you're, progressing. But it's always important to ask for help when you need it. Which I don't take that advice very good either. Like in real life, like in work, I will totally ask for help. But like real life stuff, like I'm stupid, I'm a man. It's like, oh, I have that dumb thing where I don't want to be a burden on people, so I don't ask for help. But I should do better at that. That's a takeaway for me. Do more. Be better. Biscuit needs to be better. Okay, so this job is done. This is not started. Our current job step is still 0. So what this should do is this should iterate. This should see this as done. So it should fall through to here. It should increment the counter, and then we should be good to go. So let's see and hope this works. Hey, thanks, Pew. I'm glad I have like a middle of the road view on things. Oh, Groggy, that's awesome. Hello, by the way. I hope you're having a good morning wherever you are. It's really fun. Like, if you get bogged down, like I recommend, like what I've done is I've always watched Quill, because I wasn't streaming I haven't streamed in like 5 years before I started this again. So I would always watch Quill, and he'd brainstorm with his chat, and then they'd come up with ideas, and I'd find one of the ones he didn't use or some variation of that and go, so if you're going to be by yourself, either come hang out with someone, like hang out here or hang out with Quill or hang out with Shadow, hang out with someone that's doing it too, so that you can talk about it. Because kind of that exchange of information is really what helps with the ideas. And then you just got to keep the functions as like, you also have to make sure you don't let your brain take a bigger bite from that than your stomach can handle. Like, you're going to be like, I'm going to make this big system. Start simple, because 48 hours goes by is like that. You don't have time to like get too fancy. And you've got to balance like the artwork and the sound design and the gray boxing. So it's really fun. Like, it is, you're going to have, when you get your first project done in 48 hours, you're going to have such a freaking feeling of being such a fucking boss, because you got something done, you finished something. Like, there's that euphoric release of finishing, and you can say, I finished a fucking video game in 48 hours. Might not be a very good video game, I mean, but if it provides 5 or 10 minutes of play for someone, like, you fucking did awesome, sir. Oh, dude, Shadow, that would be cool. Dude, that's awesome, Shadow. Is it anywhere, is it open sourced, or is there a licensing fee? Because I don't know if I'd jump into it for this Ludum Dare, but I might maybe do that for, like, the next one I do, is just try a different game engine and kind of spread my wings a little bit with things. Hey, nice. One of my best friends is also a streamer, and he's in Sweden right now. He's a good dude. Love Honorby. I think that's the right Honorby. Let me make sure, because Honorby's a good dude, and I don't want to fuck up his shout out. Like, Honorby. Oh, that's not the right Honorby, because I'm a fucking idiot. Ah. Oh, I spelled Honorby wrong. Or is it the Honorby? Oh, it's the Honorby now. Hold on. Well, I done fucked it up. Let me give you the right shout out. Streamer. Yeah, Honorby's in Sweden. He's fucking awesome. Make a big system is what I do, though. But yeah, going to be a challenge. That's my thing too, Groggy, is I always want to make, like, I always make big systems. Like, that's why it's like this job system is going to be big and grandiose. And like I designed it like I would, like, a database design for, like, a business application. Like, I put thought into, like, oh, here's the primary keys, the foreign keys, here's the lookup tables, here's how we're going to represent that all in data. Which is why it's complicated. But I know it'll scale. Like, I know this shit will scale in, like, the business world. Hey, thank you for the follow, Groggy. Welcome to the Biscuit Brigade. That's my daughter, by the way. Okay, so let's keep stepping through here. So what should happen is this should increment. This step counter should go from 0 to 1. We should go from the job step of move to the job step of go garden tree. If we're lucky. If it works as intended, that is. Okay, so far so good. Oh, you're welcome, Crimson. All about the good vibes here, sir. How do you make a hidden color or overlay column system? Can you explain more what you're talking about, Ghost Killer? And good morning, by the way. How do you make a hidden code or overlay code system? What do you mean hidden code? See, that's the dyslexia. It's like, oh, color. He said hidden color. Hidden code or overlay system. Did you mean, like, when you said overlay system, do you mean like a UI? Hey, Sweets, how are you doing? UI. Okay, let's kill this run, and hopefully the editor didn't take a shit. So I click that button, which should end the run in Unity. Unless we're still... Actually, let me run the program, and then maybe I'll return to the editor. Come on, editor. Come back, editor. We need you. Yeah, there's some bug. Or I'm being dumb. But it's like I attach the editor, I hit cancel, and now the editor's just like, I don't know what to do. So we're going to kill it again. And then I'll show you the UI system, how you can kind of do that. Since we're kind of bouncing around like a coked up ADHD bunny. I don't even know what the fuck that would look like, to be honest with you. UI correction system. What do you mean UI correction system? Oh. So Unity is also in the process of working on a pass to make UI building less of a fucking nightmare. Because right now it's a goddamn nightmare. It's not straightforward. It's tedious. Like if you want to make a UI, like here's the UI as you see. and that's designed for 1080p. So if you want to make that scale up or down to like 1440p, 4K, or down to like 720p, it is such a pain in the ass to do. So they're working on changing it to kind of do that automatically. So you can make this kind of UI layout that'll scale properly based on whatever your screen size is. So to make a UI, you need the UI canvas. Let's make a new scene and I'll show you. Since we're in here. Let's make a new scene. Actually, hold on. Let's do a new scene here. Select the scene asset. There it is. So we'll make a new scene in here called UI scene. Test UI scene. So we're gonna unload this one. We're gonna save the project. So like the first thing you do is you have your scene, and then we're gonna go in and we're gonna say create text UI. And I always like TextMesh Pro, so we're gonna just make let's make a button, a TextMesh Pro button. So we've made a button. So you see when we right clicked and we made the button, it created a canvas for us and it made an event system. So the canvas is kind of the space you see here. Like this is the canvas, this thing right here. So if you turn it off, if you turn the canvas off, you'll see it, everything inside of it disappears. So that's how you make a canvas. And then you're like, hey, here's a button. Oh, I need another button that does this. So there's interesting things you do too, like for holding buttons, like UI holder. And there's better ways to do it, I'm sure. Like I said, always disclosure, I'm a big dumb dummy. Totally how I am. So we're gonna add a second button into this. Actually, let's just duplicate a bunch of duplicates of this button. Like they're all underneath each other. And you want to kind of lay that out a little bit better. Let's find this holder. Boop. Let's delete all the buttons. We'll put them inside this UI holder just so that it lives properly inside of there. And let's duplicate all of them. Let's say we want to make the button to be in the top left of the scene, of the canvas. So we do that. We set the size what we want. And there's better ways to do this for sure. So this is just the big dumb dummy way to do it. And then on the UI holder, we can add something called a, horizontal layout group. Actually, we would do vertical layout group in this case. But you can do it from going to UI. And then, is it effects? No, it's not there. Oh, maybe it's not in UI anymore. Where would it be? No, it is the UI. It would have to be in UI, right? Or maybe it's miscellaneous? Okay, vertical. Where do you live, vertical layout group? But see, we added a vertical layout group, and see how instantly it's like, boom, it's segregated everything for you. Welcome back, Attentive Prondon. I wanted to read your name first as Attentive Prognosticator, but, you know, if the UI goes wrong, make a separate system to correct it. So you could do, like, the UI elements can have scripts on them just like anything else. So if we go back to, let's save this scene. Let's go back to the other scene where we actually have a UI, and we can kind of talk about how we did the UI here, which, again, might not be the best idea. So we've got the UI here. I've got a controller called Menu Manager that's responsible for all the menu level stuff. What are all these? Oh, why are these jobs still here? Oops, I meant to kill them. My bad. So this Menu Manager here is where, one, I map out all the buttons, because to update a UI element, you need to know where it is. So I have references to all the buttons here so I can look them up on this singleton and then do things I need to for them. So let's open up Menu Manager to see what it can do. We're kind of turning into like a teaching stream for the last couple hours, I guess, which is fine. I like teaching, so it'll help give my brain some time to process this shit over here that's going on. I want to get into programming so badly, trying to figure out where to start. I have a basic web design experience now. First, good morning, Ronzi. Hey, thank you, Huck. Thank you for the sub. Huck's one of the Huck's one of my long-term buddies. We met through another streamer like 7 years ago or something. I don't know. I found Devil like 7 years ago. So you can do the thing to do, Ronnie, is start with a Ronnie. To be honest, if you, gosh, I hate saying to be honest because I'm always honest, but do Let 'em Dare this weekend. Like that's a good way to just like jump in so you don't get stuck with like analysis paralysis. Just jump in and try to make something. Unity has a lot. You can do Unity. They also have Unreal Engine you can use now if you prefer. Unreal Engine might actually be easier to get started with because they've got visual blueprints, so you can do a lot of things with UI instead of having to write code. That's all going to be written in C++. Unity's good for starting, but I don't know. I've heard a lot of people say that they really liked the Unreal Engine's blueprint system for all the visual scripting. So that might be a good way to start for you. If you're comfortable jumping between languages, like to eventually move to Unity or just stay with Unreal. I mean, Unreal's a great engine and it makes a lot of amazing like AAA games. So there's not going to be anyone giving you grief for that. But Unity is still cheaper. For the most part, you can publish anything that gets up to like $200,000 for free. Once you hit that bar, you have to start paying a licensing fee, but you can do it. And if you have questions, come in here and ask. Like, we'll help you. Like, when it was just me and a couple other folks, we'd help each other. Like, Shadow's been super helpful the past couple days. The whole community here has been, like, really great. And, you know, we got to help each other out. That's how we succeed. So back to what Ghost Killer was saying with the UI. So let's see. I'm just trying to think of an interesting function that I have in here that might answer your how do you reset things. So in the menu manager here, we have an update that's always, this is probably a bad design. This should probably all be handled in a single UI, in a single management for the UI. But I wrote this 7 years ago before I really knew that. So don't do it this way, but I have an update statement running here that it's always checking to see if units are selected. It'll enable, like when you select a unit, it's going to, I'll show you, it'll highlight the player stats tab. Oh fuck, I'm on the main camera, it's gonna eat ass. Hey Ronnie, thank you for follow and welcome to the Biscuit Brigade. Oh god, I regret everything. I regret everything. Because I have the main camera selected and that's highlighting all of the jobs. Click off. Pause. Yeah, the editor's just eating dick right now. Quit. Because it's trying to represent all this data here, which is like a ton of stuff. Okay. Job manager. Come on. Click, click, click. Oh, you're welcome, Ronnie, man. The biggest thing is just believe in yourself. Like, you can do it. It's going to be hard. You're going to get frustrated, but you can do it. You can do hard things. We just have to put our mind to it. Just like the Bob Ross way, man. There's no mistakes, just happy accidents. And everything's learning. And any skill you start with, you just have to keep working on it to get better. Hey, fuck you. Okay. First, the UI skills all fucked up. Thank you for the follow. It's Litany. Welcome to the Biscuit Brigade. So, you'll see here, Ghost Killer. You click on this guy and see how at the bottom it shows his stats. And you click on a tree. Hey, thank you for the follow, cat-loving coder. I mean, welcome to the Biscuit Brigade. Me and my five cats and the stray that adopted us that lives outside because she won't let us come in. We say thank you. We also love cats and dogs. We love all animals. If we had a fucking farm, like I grew up in rural Maryland, so I could totally go with a farm. Like I like rural lifestyle. So you click on the tree. So see here, it's showing the majestic tree. So if we come back here, this statement's watching to see if is a unit selected. If yes, it'll enable. We've got a reference to menu manager.enable menu button is a bool on or off, and then we trigger off that to call. Where's the? So we call some of the objects we referenced to enable them or disable them. For highlight mode, we let us do highlight mode is this, where when we do. Oh, I closed it. So highlight mode is when we go into saying, hey, we want to. Like if you think of RimWorld, when you say I want to mine something or I want to build something, you can click and drag. So we've got that same kind of system here. So you'll see in a second that. So we're going to say highlight mining. So we've clicked on mining and you see this little square. So we can click and drag. This is highlight mode. That's done through the UI. That's enabling that layer. And then when we let go, it's painting tiles on the UI. And then, oh, I actually broke something. Nice. Did that answer your question, Ghost? I didn't want to. Would it run faster or better depend on the script? Yeah, I mean, bad code will run shittily. Like that's why it's such a complicated thing. If you write code that's bad, you could be running like calling expensive functions that you shouldn't do, or like I guarantee I'm not properly caching objects here. Like I've learned in the past 7 years when I started this game, like doing all those lookups for objects is slow. So if you cache those, you get a lot of performance benefit. Like there's a lot of things you can do to make your UI run better. Oh, that's awesome, Knuckles. Hi, my name is Knuckles, and I will fuck you up. And watch it not be Knuckles, but the one word I keyed off of was Knuckles. No, we call it emergent gameplay. Yeah, emergent gameplay isn't a bug. That's Groggy. That is totally what I want to do. I want to make an engine, like a sandbox, that we can put pieces onto, and then we add a little bit of AI to it, and just like we don't know what's gonna happen. Maybe it's gonna become Skynet. You never know. Like that'd be pretty fucking cool if it became Skynet. It'd be like, my own creation has killed me. It is funny, and I would laugh because life is funny. Program Bob Ross. Give me a little. Somebody make an emote of me with a Bob Ross fro, and I'll replace my shuttle emote with the Bob Ross emote. I love shuttles, but if someone does that, I will do that, and my wife will laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh at me. Let me know if you need any more on that, Killer, or if you have any more questions about it. But if not, I'm going to kind of jump back into trying to debug the job system. What's my favorite thing to drink? Alcoholic or non-alcoholic or what? San Aleppo. And hello, by the way. Okay, so if it's alcoholic, probably that's hard. It's like boiling. Like if I had one thing to drink, one alcoholic drink to drink for the rest of my life, what would it be? I don't know. I really like chocolate martinis with gin and Godiva chocolate, and then some Bailey's or other kind of liqueur like that. I like mudslides. They're like ice cream that gets you drunk. I really like Johnny Walker Blue for alcoholic stuff. For non-alcoholic stuff, I don't know. I mostly just drink water. But Sonic, there's a place here called Sonic. It's like a drive-in in the United States. And they have this thing called a strawberry limeade. So it's like Sprite with some like real strawberries in it and like ice. And then there's something else. What is it? Like seltzer? I don't know. But it's really fucking good. It's like amazing. I had Sonic for the first time when I visited my girlfriend in Kansas. And there was no Sonic out on the East Coast back then. So I had this thing called the cherry limeade, which was the same thing but with cherries instead of with strawberries. And it was really good. So +1 to Sonic. What's the new features? Hey, Ripe Tony. The new features. So we're going to go for the new features are what? Like what we're going to do with the game? Yeah, you can post URLs, Cyber Golem. Yeah, go for it. You're fine, my bro. My bro. I've turned into one of those peoples. Hey, my guy. Hey, my dude. Although, I can only resist for so long, because I've noticed that the my guy and bro and stuff, things that happened, like, my kids have been doing that, like, they do that, and then I start seeing other people do that, so it's like, I don't know where they're getting it from. Maybe they're getting it from, like, the YouTube videos they watch, but it's super funny hearing them. It's like, okay, my son called me, like, okay, my guy, and I'm like, did you just fucking call me my guy? Like, you crazy kid. Yeah, Quill's really good. Quill's awesome. Bracky's actually the guy I followed to do this when I show you the shader, watch. This shader was actually from a Bracky's tutorial I just did last night. So watch the character. So it's using a lit shader right now. And so we're gonna make him dissolve. Whoa, he's dissolving into nothingness. So that was a Bracky's tutorial on using the shader graph to make a new shader. Which that was one of the things that I always didn't like about 2D games, was that I wanted to do cool shit with like the shaders, but Unity didn't support it, but now they do. And life is better. So here's the shader editor for it. But yeah, this was totally just stolen. Well, I grabbed it, not stolen, but I got it from Bracky's. The shader graph of taking the colonist and adding some noise and making him disintegrate. So we can do something like when a colonist is killed, or maybe we have like transporters or something if we wanna add multiplayer in. And the way you get between colonies is you walk unless you have transport technology, and then you transport away from your map and you transport on his map, like that kind of neat like shader effect. Like those are the kind of things I'm excited about doing too once we get the core gameplay loop down. I've never seen this other guy though. Holistic 3D. Professor Penny DeBile. I'm gonna open her up because I've never seen her before. Open her up could come across sounding weird, but let's see. Because I like finding new references to learn as well. Because I'm just like you guys, I'm just learning. Oh, I've already subscribed to her. Well, I guess I've been here in the past. Which ones did I watch? Does it remember? Oh, I probably did it with procedural train generation. Maybe. No, that was a year ago. I wasn't thinking of shit a year ago. It has to be something further back. Oh, more procedural. Yeah, then I did it with procedural stuff when he or she was doing stuff years ago. Nice. I'm glad I already follow her. Or him. Fuck, I don't know who it is. I'm glad I follow them. Dude, you can do it, Ronnie. Should longer code be better than short code, or is it speed based? I'm guessing English isn't your first language, Ghost, so I'm trying to not sound like a dickhead, but I want to understand your question. Like, code length doesn't really necessarily mean it's going to be slower or better or worse. Like, you need to think about what you want to do. Like, what are the goals for what you're trying to do? And then you need to think through, like, how do you accomplish that goal? And you always want to be as efficient as possible. So you can make, like, one way to do it, and, you know, someone like Zach or others that are, like, more programmery game developer focused would probably know better. But I tend to try to make helper functions wherever possible to do, like, the easy work. And then you have a main function, and then the function has helpers that it needs to do its job, so that you keep the code more encapsulated. I don't necessarily know if that's the best way to do it, but that's how I do it, and that's how I do it at work, to try to keep things encapsulated. What's your first language, Ronnie? I know a good tutorial in German about C# and about game programming with Unity. Oh, thanks. Often Vasted. Hello. Good morning. Okay, back to reality. Born and raised on a playground where I spent most of my days. Chilling, not lax and relaxed, so cool. Shooting out the b-ball outside of school. When a couple of guys who were up to no good started making trouble in my neighborhood. I got in one little fight and my mom got scared. She sent me to live with my auntie and uncle in Bel Air. Let's reattach the debugger. Let's see what we got so far. And thanks, guys, for all the follows and everything today. I really appreciate it. After the stream, I gotta go sub to Alien because he's such a fucking boss. But yeah, and I'm super excited about Let 'em Dare this weekend. You guys got to sign up for it. Did HTML, some JavaScript, have Photoshop basics, web design stuff. If you can do JavaScript, like Ronnie, you can totally do C#. Like JavaScript is fucking. JavaScript like kicks you right in the fucking dick or cunt, you know, depending on your anatomy, whatever. It kicks you right in the sack. It kicks you right in the privates. Dude, it's hard for me to grok. Like just the async nature of stuff. It just Makes my fucking brain, like with Node, like it makes my brain melt. Like I have a lot of trouble with it. Oh, and I've seen some shit in JavaScript. Just like, oh my god, this is so hard. It's like I'm a fucking virgin programmer all over again, coding for the very first time. Oh, nice. Where in New York? You in the city or you upstate, Ronnie? I'm in South Florida, in Miami area. Cyber, you can send him the German tutorial, and then he'll translate it to English. Welcome back, Dr. Java. We've been chatting and still not fixing the bug that we encountered. So I don't want to break there. Let's do the break. Yeah, let's do the break at the top of this funnel. And then let's see if we can figure out WTF. So attach the uni process. Did we already attach? Okay, we did. Okay, so let's go back to the game. Make sure we save the scene. Bloop. Make sure we're not set on the fucking main camera. That's gonna lag the game to shit. Oh, thanks, Ronnie. I appreciate it. I'm not great with compliments. I don't know how to take them, so when I act like a doofus, it's probably because I'm embarrassed about attention. I know, like, hey, you're streaming and you're embarrassed about it getting attention. It's like, well, I like it, but I don't know, like, I don't know what to do with my hands. Like when my fucking mod fucking gave me epic loot to be able to play Alex, I didn't know what to do, so I just started swearing at him. Like, what the fuck? What are you doing? How irresponsible to give me $1,000? What's wrong with you, sir? You've broken me. I don't know what to do now. So we're in here. And let's... don't want to braille. Let's step through here. Okay, boop. Okay, we're looping through there. It's going to go start the move job, right? Is that what it should be doing? Okay. Starting the move job, we're going to step into this son of a gun. Boop. Now you're going to be like, I'm going to go to the coroutine. But, like, step over. I want to leave this shit from mono behavior, but I'd like to go into the next job. So let's see, what is that? That would be... I wouldn't be step out, right? It would be... oh, it could be run to cursor. Let's try that. Run to cursor. Hey, move your fucking window, asshole. Run to cursor. Hey, it fucking worked. Okay. Praise the spaghetti monster. I stream so I can scream into the void when my code doesn't work how I want it to. Dude, Sir Groggy, that's exactly what I did it to. Like, my North Star is, you know, Philip, one of my mods, he showed me this guy. The guy that made Startup Company has exactly my story, where he started streaming because he wanted to, even if there's no one there, to talk. So I'm basically rubber ducking myself because I'm constantly talking. I'm not able to just get frustrated with something. I have ADHD, and so my brain's like, boo, 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 boo. So if I'm sitting here talking to you guys, I can't just go like, oh, squirrel, let's go fucking watch a YouTube video, and I'm like, fuck, I got nothing done. So I'm accountable, which is super helpful. So screaming into the void is awesome. And when there's people to scream back at me, like, that's even fucking better. That's amazing. And I enjoy it. Ooh, my mom wants to Skype. Lockdown is rough. Have fun, Dr. Java. We'll see you later. Always listen to your mom. You know, you do only have one. And my mom has dementia. And I would give anything in the world to go back 20 years to when she first got it. And she stopped. In all intents and purposes, my old mom is dead. She's gone. Like, the lady that's there now is not... she's my mother, but she is not my mother. Like, I would give anything for her to, like... when we were smart-ass kids, she would just fucking take a chroma pen, or she'd take, like, a book. She'd throw shit at us, because we learned to be fast, because we would just be a smart-ass, and then she would just fucking wing a book at us or something. Like, I had great reflexes like a cheetah because of that. So I would give anything for my mom to, like, throw a book at me, or tell me to clean up my room, it's a pigsty, or, like, any of that stuff. Like, ever since she's had dementia, it was just like it was one singular point that I remember very well on Thanksgiving, or the day before Thanksgiving, or the day after. It was around Thanksgiving. Well, I don't remember it perfectly, but, like, that was one singular point where it, like, went downhill. So sorry for bringing everyone down. Listen to your mom, like Dr. Java said. Welcome back, Crimson. I also have some ADHD. Contrary to popular belief, people with ADHD have high IQs. I don't want to be like, yes, because I think that aligns with, like, what I am. I mean, I don't think I'm stupid, But yeah, I do think the same thing I read as a kid with like when I realized I was dyslexic, that they tell you, you know, there's a lot of people that were very successful that are dyslexic, like because they have to work like when you're dyslexic or ADHD, you have to work a lot harder than a normal person to get the same results. So it's like you like inside of your head, like somebody just thinks you're just slow, but it's like you're just fighting your brain constantly to stay on fucking target. Like that scene in Star Wars, like stay on target, fuck squirrel. It's like stay on target, like that. And like dyslexia, you're constantly people think you're a slow reader, and you are, but it's because like the words are jumping around right in front of you, so you have to wait till your fucking brain just like you have to read shit like multiple times. It's kind of like with dyslexia, it's kind of like you need error correcting RAM. So you read something once, and then you read it again, and if it doesn't say the same thing, you fucked up. So you read it again, and you read it again, and if it doesn't add up, you read it again, and you read it over and over until you read it twice in a row and it's the same thing, and then you know what it actually says. So it's like super fucking hard. Yeah. So my mom got she got early onset dementia. She was in her 50s. So this was 1996. No, it was it was like 1994. Because I was like a sophomore. So it was basically my dad from then on. Like it was rough. Like it's gonna make me cry, so I'm gonna change topics, but yeah, it's rough. Like I that is something like earlier in the stream I said I would wish gallbladder on my worst enemy because you know fuck them, but I would never wish dementia on anybody. Like, and my grandfather had Alzheimer's, so my wife already knows like if I get dementia, like I'm fucking killing myself. I'm gonna find a place to end my life with dignity because I don't want to put my loved ones through that. Like your loved ones will do it because they love you, but I don't want to. Like I know what it was like watching my mom do that, and I don't want people to have to see me do that. Like that is, I can't do that. So anyway, Jesus, sorry for that. I apologize for like being such a downer. Back to game development. Good lord. I can barely laugh right now. Hey, Mustiv. Nice. Anyway, I apologize. People come here to be happy and not be talking about real life shit that's like super heavy. So I apologize for, you know, burdening you guys with that shit. Okay, so let's keep stepping through that code. Actually, I had to take a break for a second because I'm about to cry. So I'll be right back in just a second. Lord chat, my cats saw the light under the door, and I opened the door, and all 5 of the cats were sitting at the door, just like looking at me. And when I opened the door, they just meowed. It's funny. Sorry for that. Yeah, Dr. Java. I've seen stuff about studies, and I've asked to be a part of it, because it's like, if there's anything that I can, not for my own self-interest, like if there's anything studies I can be a part of that'll help like push that stuff forward, because I know that there's a lot of that stuff can also be environmental. So if you've ever seen the original Terminator movie, like Sarah Connor's driving down the road and she's talking about her destiny. So for the longest time, I thought my destiny was to get that. But my mother's also an alcoholic. She was an alcoholic. She smoked. I'm not an alcoholic. I don't smoke. So that was one thing my therapist once said, is like, your path might not be destined to have that happen. So you shouldn't think that that's predetermined that you're going to go out that way, because your lifestyle is different. And there's a lot of things too. Back in the day, like aluminum cans could cause mental illness, and she drank 24 pack a day of aluminum like beer. So that could be part of that. So if there's ever anything that I can do to like be part of a study to try to advance research so that nobody has to go through that again, I will totally do that. So hopefully I can do something to help with that too one day. That would be awesome. Did you put, oh, let's see what you said, Shadow, because you're talking about work shit. You're like, get back to work, fucker. Did you put my step job count or current step somewhere, or current job step plus plus? Let's look and see. Excuse me, I don't remember off the top of my head. Aw. Thanks, Ronnie, I appreciate it. Sorry, I just didn't want to cry on stream. Like, that would totally, yeah. And I wanted to compose myself. Hey, thanks, Larry in New York, for the raid. Nice to see you again, sir. Let's give you a shout out. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Larry in New York, because New York's the best. So let's look real quick, Shadow, and then I think we're incrementing the step. Where is it? We increment the step when we get to done. I think that's what you asked. So when you come through with a job that's done, it checks to see, is there another step? If the job is finished, we're done. If the job is not done, if there's another step, it increments the step counter and then runs the job again. And then it runs yield break. And my question from earlier, which I don't know, is does yield break kick me out of here? Because I don't want to fall back through the rest of this code. And I'm not super familiar with enumerators, so I guess that's something we'll see when we just start debugging and see. To people needing a laugh, I just inhaled frigging flour for days trying to make my own bread. And I'm a biochemical engineer. I should just record my life. It's worse than Mr. Bean. Dude, I love baking bread, Dr. Java. I've got a bread maker. It is so much fun, and I can't find any goddamn flour anymore. Powder clouds. It's like you were doing the cinnamon challenge, but with flour. The flour challenge. Flour. You're like, I've been making flour. I've been inhaled frigging flowers. Yes, flour. The future is possible. Hold on for another 25 to 30 years. Yeah. No, it's not, and it's not like me. I mean, I can't think of anything more terrifying than losing you in here and like being lost in a. One way that someone described to me Alzheimer's versus dementia, since they're similar, is like the doctors said, dementia, you're living in a fantasy world, and Alzheimer's, you're living in the past. So, or maybe I got that backwards, but yeah. No, I think it's the Alzheimer's is a fantasy world from some of the stuff my mom would do. I thought she streamed in order not to go on tangents. Sir Groggy, there's a pound focus command for not tangents. But if we're here hanging out, like, we're doing it enough that we do make some progress every day, and hanging out with you guys is also fun, and we will make progress, because I'm getting used to it. I'm getting in the swing of things. I'm doing my best. But if you want, just always pound focus, and I will try to do a good job at focusing. Yeah, life contributes, your profession, programming. There are many factors. Welcome to the most fun paired programming session of the day. Dude, paired programming is awesome. When I was younger, I used to be like, paired programming is stupid. It's like half the productivity. But like as I've gotten older, like, dude, paired programming is awesome. you have better code because you're not missing stupid shit because you're like your brain's bouncing around. It's like, hey dummy, you forgot like this one setting. Which Shadow Sue's been really helpful. And shout out to Shadow Sue. He's making a game engine in Visual Basic that is fucking amazing. Like the graphic fidelity that he had was better than anything I thought was possible with Visual Basic. Hey, thanks for stopping by, Zach. I really appreciate your help. Have a good one. I stream every single day, so I hope I see you again too, sir. You save time overall when you do it right the first time. So while there's two people doing it, you have a higher likelihood of having better code that isn't riddled with bugs that are gonna fuck you over or cause like production outages that get you a pager duty in the middle of the night. Like it's happened to me a lot because I live the ops life now, but when I worked at GoDaddy, I lived the product life. I directed 2 product teams, so I know both sides of it. So I know you don't just write a shitty product and hand it off to the ops people because that should put you in hell. If hell's a thing, that's where you should go. If you just kick stuff to the ops people without caring about it, and the ops people, man, they keep the lights running. I don't want to see Visual Basic anything. I thought the same thing, Groggy. But if you let me pull it up. Like it's fucking amazing. Like it is really good. Let me find the link for it. Hey, thank you for stopping by, Crimson. Yeah, it's almost 5 a.m., so I get to go to work. I will see you tomorrow, Crimson. I hope you stop by. Have a good day. Thank you so much for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Thanks for all the follows, everybody. Like we're only 15 away from being at the 800 goal that I had for us, so that's cool. Okay, so we're still stepping through here. Okay. How many sub points do you need for the next emote? I don't know. I've only got like 3 or 4 subs. I don't know. When does the next one lock? Let me see. Because I do want to make a Bob Ross, a B. Wheatley Bob Ross one now with my hair, so I can show my wife and she can laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh at my face. She's just kind of a terrible person. No, my wife's pretty amazing. Let me see. Let me see how many I need. Because I don't know how this stuff works at all. Because I just got my affiliate like last week or the week before. Let's see. Preferences, affiliate, loyalty badges, emotes. I get my next emote. Wait, did I just... Oh my gosh, thank you. Did you follow me on YouTube or did you actually subscribe? Hey, thank you. I need to get a button for thanking people for subscribing. I need like a fuck yeah. Here. Thank you, Groggy. That's awesome, dude. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You're one of the first. You're like the 4th. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Like it really makes my day. I'm gonna wake up when my wife wakes up and be like, dude, there was like 100+ people in chat. It's fucking crazy. And it's like, I was so loud that, oh my gosh, thank you for the sub. It's Litany. I need to make, oh my goodness, thank you. You're gonna make me fucking break down again. I'm gonna wake up and tell my wife there's like 100 people in chat, and she's gonna be like, you're full of shit. And I'll be like, no, maybe there really was. And then she'll do that thing where she's teasing me, and she's like trying to make me feel like she's teasing me, and then she'll be like, she'll give me a big hug and be like, I know, I'm really proud of you, because she's fucking awesome. She's the reason that I can do this, like that I'm not having to balance helping take care of the kids. Like after work, I'll make dinner for them and stuff, and we'll hang out as a family. But she does the heavy lifting for that stuff. So it's a teamwork. I do all the providing for the family piece, and she does the keeping the home and raising our kids. And that's way more valuable than money for sure. Like making sure our kids grow up to be good humans and like good people. Like that's important. I mean, it's their life, so they get to do what they want, but hopefully we can set them up the foundation to try to be good humans and make the world a better place. Because I'm just a big dumb dummy that believes in that kind of stuff. Which is thanks to how my parents raised me. Like one story about my parents, my mom was the disciplinarian because she was the mom, and my dad was like the cool one. And then we were kids and the LA riots happened with like Rodney King. and there was the video of like Reginald Denny getting beat up by rioters. And my little sister, she was like probably kindergarten at the time, I don't remember. She was very young. She made some comment about, she's like, oh, black people are stupid or something. And my dad, like I said, I preface this story by saying he was the chill one. My dad fucking lost his shit, and and my dad's daughters, I'm his only son, but they're all of his little girls, and I was the one that always got in trouble. So when she said that, my dad like got bright red. He grabbed her, he looked, he said, don't you ever say somebody is less than somebody else just because of what they look like or what color they are. Like, white people are stupid, black people are stupid, everyone is stupid. We're humans, we are all the same. And like, I just very vividly remember my dad doing that, and like he would never yell at his daughters, but like for him to, that just always stuck with me, that you treat everyone the same, and you treat everyone the way you want to be treated. Okay, so let's keep stepping through this code and see where we're going. So this is the move job. And the move job, let's actually step out because we know the move job works. So let's step out of here. And let's see. Woo. Awesome code, super friendly, and new affiliate, definitely worth a sub. I really appreciate it. That really means a lot to me. Thank you so much. Really, really. And thank you too, Larry. I appreciate it. Yeah, like, teamwork makes the dream work. Like, at my job now, like, I was the very first employee, and we've grown up to a team of 10 now. And every time someone thanks me for doing my job, I always say, to the point where people get annoyed by it, they're like, thanks. I was like, teamwork makes the dream work. Like, that is, we will be successful. We will succeed or fail as a team, and we will succeed because we're working as a team. A team, like, I also lost my temper with someone at work the other day, and I apologized because I felt like they were asking me to do stuff and they weren't listening to my point of view. And eventually, privately, I was like, hey, what about this thing I asked? And like, well, I don't care about it. And I lost my temper, was not right to do. And I said, well, that's not fucking teamwork. Teamworks work together. If I have to care about what you say, you got to care about what I say. That's fucking teamwork. And not caring about it, that isn't teamwork. And then I quickly apologized because, like, you can't lose your temper. Like, you can't lose your temper and raise your voice with people. That's not cool. So I apologize. But I feel very strongly that, like, as a team, you have to do everything. No one's better than anyone else. We are all the same. We're in a team. We're in this together, and we'll get through it together. And that means we have to stick together and be a fucking team. Like, we all have to be rowing in the same direction to be successful. Okay, so now we're coming back through the looper. Let's see what our status is right now. Oh, don't worry about it, Java, dude. It's okay. I have 2 comments to that. Don't thank me for raising the average intelligence. 2 people that ignore the current lockdown guidelines. They're a different kind of. Yeah, those people are. It's ignorance, but like the people in Florida where they were at the beach. It's like, it's ignorance that's going to kill people. It's ignorance that's going to kill people that they love. Like, it's not all going to be the people that you don't like that die, and you shouldn't wish for anyone to die anyway. There's going to be people that you know and love that die, and it's going to affect you, and you just need to be smart. And I get that kids are just, they're kids, so they don't think the same way. But it's like, dude, that's where, like, the parents have to be. You cannot fucking, like, it's a big failing, the people being so selfish like that. Like, I've been home since February, like, the middle of March, first week of March, because I've been keeping track of it, and I was like, we have to do our part to make sure this doesn't spread, especially since our government is not doing, the government of the United States was not doing a very good job to being prepared, acting coherently, making good fucking choices, like putting aside bullshit and focusing on a problem, and then put politics in the back burner until this is done, and then go back to your horse shit that you do. But like, you know, a bunch of old people die. That's a bunch of the people that like you big dumb dummy. So you probably don't want them all to die. You should probably do the right thing. You should probably sorry, I don't want to talk about politics. There's a lot of people that don't agree with me. There's millions that don't agree with me, and I don't want to. We can agree to disagree. But yeah, I agree that people that don't take care of social distancing are making things really bad. So I agree with that, Doctor. Yeah, Groggy, I'm going to do Z levels. So that's one of my biggest things I wish RimWorld didn't do. Because Dwarf Fortress, you can build multiple Z levels and go down. I want to do the same thing with this, because I love mining, and I love mining out bases. And the fact that RimWorld didn't have that really, really bummed me out. And the other thing I want to add is the more complicated like you said, emergent gameplay where you have I forget who it was. It might have been somebody in chat yesterday. It might have been Balar was talking about he had a dwarf fortress with orcs or he had dwarves and orcs moved in. They joined the community, and then an orc stripper got killed by a dwarf, and then there was like a race war. It's like, dude, that is totally emergent gameplay. Like, how awesome is that? Hey, Ronnie, I'll see you later, sir. I appreciate you hanging out, and have a good day, sir. Yeah, my friend in Sweden, he was a police officer in Sweden. He's just like, yeah, they're just doing their thing. He's like, but I'm staying the fuck away from people because I'm not stupid. Yeah, boy, that's exactly what I miss too, the no Z. So I want to add that in there. It's people you don't know as well, like people you happen across when you breathe wrong. Yeah, it's really, it's like the lack of education is really like that highlights to me like at least in the United States, our education system is so bad that people don't have that kind of like sense of like this is important. Like you but then I apologize. I shouldn't go into politics often. But when you have people that look to the government, hey, thank you for the follow, Pokozoric. Welcome to the Biscuit Brigade, as said by my kindergartner daughter. But I gotta turn this fucking music down. It is way too loud in my ear holes right now. Good lord, girl, you are way too loud. Okay. Jesus. Yeah, you've got like the federal government that people look to for guidance, and it's actively telling them it's not a big deal. So then we went through the whole like month of February and March where people just didn't give a fuck about it, and politicians were selling stock in companies when they knew that this shit was going to happen. It's like, dude, you guys are the worst of humanity. I hope that history and people see that and say, no, enough. That is not acceptable. Like, our loved ones are dying because it's not their fault that it's there. It would have happened either way, but we could have done a better job of like, hey, the house is on fire. Okay, let's just spray the other side of the house down with gasoline and just pretend there's not a fire until it fucking catches on fire, instead of being like, call the fire department so we can minimize the damage, you fucking idiots. So, I apologize for ranting. It's just like, I don't know how you cannot be ranty about it when there's going to be people that... I've already know like 6 people that have it. One of them is in super intensive care and might not make it. And it's like... It's very disappointing. I'm very disappointed in my countrymen and my leaders. What the heck were they doing there? Oh gosh, let me see. It's not just young people. I almost exploded last week. An elderly couple just rode their bikes to the back gate of my garden that they thought that was a private street. Like, what are you guys doing out? Like, we go for walks. We go for walks around our block, but we're not interacting with our neighbors. Like, we talk to our neighbors through the fence, like 12 feet away from each other, just to have some semblance of like community. But that's where the internet's really great at too, because we can be online with each other and hang out and talk and play games together and just shoot the shit and just try to ride this motherfucker out until we get a vaccine. It's not started yet. So what's our current status? Yeah, totally. Just whisper it to me right now. I'll take a look. Oh, Groggy, don't worry about it. There's not a ton of time left anyway, and like any good programming things, at least there's a certain amount of time that's like it takes to really dig into it. So we can make progress on it, and then I'll probably dig into what you were showing or what you guys were showing with the job system later tonight, and see if we can just drop in and replace that if it makes sense. But I don't know if it will, because I don't know if I have enough decoupling from like mono behaviors to use it yet, because I know you've got to have the data layer separated completely from the mono behaviors, or else you can't get that kind of scale by removing mono behavior crap. Let me pull up my thing so I can see the old Whisperinos. I was a whisper. Where would I be? Oh, here's where I'd be if I was a whisper. There. Yeah, shoot me the whisper whenever you want. Litany. I have my whispers ready, so. This user is turned on block. Oh, fuck. Hold on. Let me do one to you first. My bad. Because I mod for a lot of channels, and it normally results in me. It's... There, I just sent you a whisper, so now you should be able to whisper back. I'll tweak that later. Normally, I mod for a couple communities, and then people will come and dislike the mod action I take, and then they'll just call me a Nazi. So it's just like, you know, fuck that. I didn't really need that in my life at the time. So I'll turn it off later. Thank you for reminding me. I didn't think about that. Oh, thanks for stopping by, Ronnie. I really appreciate it, man. Or woman, whoever. I'm just assuming man, but I should say guy. Hey, guy, my buddy, my dude, my bro. I don't want random assholes just messaging me. Okay. Let's keep stepping through here. See if we see... So the thing that's funny, Groggy, is like... I'm sure you also know there is... it's most likely whatever this bug is, because it's not... It's intermittent. There's probably some stupid logic bug somewhere. Or there's some, like, race condition where things are happening at the wrong time and it's causing it to break. Like, I can guarantee it's that, which is something stupid, which is the thing that, like, if I'd started this from scratch, like, Shadow's been super helpful, and others in chat have been really helpful about that kind of thing, so I don't miss these stupid little things. Cool. Now, I read your thing, Litany, and that sounds cool. I'll try it. Yeah, I mean, teamwork makes the dream work. So if there's a team you think I'd fit in, like, I would totally give that a try. Like, I've watched a lot of streamers. Yeah, I love, you guys are all great rubber ducks. Even if I'm talking to myself, it's like we're rubber ducking with each other. There have been streamers that, like the one guy that I watch, this guy here, he does a lot of science and technology streams, a lot of KSP. He's a big science nerd. He's an awesome guy. You should check him out and follow him. He's, when I started watching him, like, I lived in California, so that was at least before 2015, so 2013. So 7 years ago, I've been watching him for like 7 years or something. And I started watching him, and he would get like 30 people a stream, and he would now he's got 600 people a stream, like, just over time, and he's got like such a great community, and most of the time, 99% of the time, everyone's super positive and chill and cool. Sometimes chat gets pedantic because, you know, that's how chat is, and I fucking pedants drive me crazy, so I have to try to get a thicker skin with pedantic people if I'm gonna stream. But I'm all about, like, watching him grow. He would always work with his partners on his teams to grow each other and keep building up their communities, and, you know, I'm fine with that, Litany. Like with Alien, I'm gonna go subscribe to him after and be a part of that, because I remember about me. So when I was a kid, I worked in, like, I was thinking about going to the Naval Academy. I got one endorsement from my congressman at the time, and then I kind of had like a little, I don't know if nervous breakdown is the right word, but I was just like, fuck school, I'm done. So I dropped out of school. I didn't drop out, I just stopped going, which I guess is dropping out. And then I went to work at a restaurant. Went to this shitty little dive restaurant where a bunch of bikers hung out. And this biker guy, his name was Oklahoma. Really fucking awesome guy. He said, hey, you look like a kind of smart computer nerd kid. Can you come help me? And this is my version of his Oklahoma accent. He said, can you come help me with my plotter? It's not printing right. So I went to his office. I helped him get his plotter working. I'd help him whenever he needed, because I knew computers and he didn't, because he's an older dude. He's probably in his like 70s now. He's fucking awesome. He's a really good human being. Which you wouldn't think, like, oh, he's a biker, he's big and scary. Great dude. So what that led to eventually is I was working at this shitty restaurant, and he said, hey, I got my friend Big Bird. His brother runs a computer store. Maybe I can set you up. So he set me up with this guy, Big Bird, who was Big Bird. Like, he's a big motherfucker. And then he set me up with his brother. And his brother ran a computer company that was up here. He got me a job interning for a year. And then I interned there, and I ended up working that job for like four years. They eventually started paying me. We were about to get acquired, and then they found out that I had dropped out of school. So my boss called me, and he's like, hey, we just had due diligence run on us. Guess what? They just told me about you in your education. I said that I never graduated school. And he's like, exactly right. And he's like, and this guy's name's, he was a lieutenant colonel in the Marines. Like he went back for, not Desert Storm, the one where they invaded Saddam Hussein. He went back in Fallujah, and like he was a Ford air controller there, like amazing human being. And he said, hey, you didn't graduate to high school. So I just got off the phone with the principal of your school, because I was like 19, I think. And he's like, you can go back. You're not 20 yet, so you can still go back to the school. You can re-enroll in high school. You need 1 fine art credit. So he went out of his way to find out what I needed to get my diploma and make sure that I could go back. And he said, you're going to go back and you're going to do it. He's like, I'm going to give you the time during the day to go to school and do that. And then you're going to come back to work and you're going to work. And he's like, the only thing that I ask, and this is before the movie Pay It Forward came out, he's like, the only thing I ask is that if you're ever an opportunity where you can help someone, that you do the same thing for them that I did for you, which was to give them a shot and then tell them to pay it forward. So that, I've always done that for my whole life since that point, to try to do, sorry for being all ranty, I've always tried to pay it forward. So like, this is all based on litanies saying, you should join this community. So I was like, I will totally do that. Like I want to make the world a better place. I want to do that. I always want to pay it forward. So that's a long-winded way of saying I want to pay it forward. Hey Scrappy, how you doing, sir? Hello. Yeah, I didn't like school very much. I mean, I was the company commander of the first year we had NJRTC, so I was the company commander for NJRTC, because I like fucking put, like, that kind of discipline was awesome for me, because it was like, my brain was better when I could be disciplined, like, the military bearing stuff was awesome, like, I would have been great in the military, because I could fucking have that shit locked down. But yeah, so school was rough for me. I worked on a pressure foundry as my first job. Dude, that sounds incredible. Like, it sounds dangerous, but incredible. The lag on the Twitch app blows. Oh, I'm sorry, Ornamation. But either way, hello. Okay. So we're stepping through code and telling stories. And it's good times. So we're trying to debug a weird thing we've had with the job system. But we pretty much just spent the whole day talking, and I showed Killer some stuff with the UI system. Let's see. This is not the same scale, but there's a guy I watch named Pastilli. In the beginning of the year, right around Christmas, Escape from Tarkov did this integration with Twitch where they did these thing called Twitch drops. And this guy Pastilli, who is a good streamer, he's a good game. He would average like a couple hundred people a time. He ground up, he built up his viewership and everything in his community. And then they started these Twitch drops, and he ended up having like, thousands and thousands of people in his channel. I think it was like 20,000 people at peak or something. Like he raised so much money, like doing ads, that it like he said it like changed his life. And then the next day, after he made this thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on ad revenue from having that many people there, and they're always like, run an ad. So he's like, okay. And he's like, each ad's like $1,000 for me. He's like, okay, if you want me to. So he was running these streams, but the very next day after he did like a 48-hour stream or whatever, he came back and he did this charity stream for this kids charity, and he raised like, I forget what it was, but it was some, I think hundreds of thousands of dollars like he raised. I was like, dude, what a fucking stand-up like human like that. I had a lot of respect for that, because he could have like just because at first I was like, oh, he's just running ads because he's just trying to be money grubbing, but then the next day when he came back and he was running ads again, he's like, this ad money is all being donated to this charity. It was really special. Like, it was really, especially because it was right around the holidays. It was just right after the 25th, so it was really cool. So let's keep stepping through my fucking big mouth talking, which I know isn't for everyone, but I appreciate you guys hanging out while I run my mouth. Okay, so we're in job start. So we're in the job step of... Okay, so this job is done, and this job is now in progress. So we should start gardening if this is... So that seems like it worked properly. The step incremented. This went in progress. We're not gardening yet. So this is before it breaks. I know, I'm working on fixing bugs, sir. I listen to this while I'm waiting for my compiler to finish. It's like that XKCD where it's like, they're sword fighting. It's like, you guys are gooking off. He's like, no, we're compiling code. It's like, okay, carry on. Yeah, Starlight Foundation, that's what it is. That's awesome. It's Litany. Like, yeah. And I mean, I'm human, so I admit, like, at first I was grumpy about him running all those ads, and I was just like, fuck that guy. And I'm human, just like anyone else. But then I saw the light, and I said, I changed my stance. I mean, I didn't. It's not like I said anything as chat. We're like, fuck that guy. But I thought it. So I apologized to myself. I said, hey, it's okay. Okay, so this should fall through to the Go Gardener tree. It did. And then we want to step into this gardener job. Okay, so let's see. We finally got here. Let's see how this fucks up. We did run to cursor because I don't want it to. I don't want to go into the coroutine bullshit, but I do want it to come into here. Get this. So let's see. Run to cursor. Oh, it fucking works. That's so fucking awesome. Compiling code. Hey, friendo. Hey, Profuse. Profuser. You're profuse. You're profuse. Hello and good morning. Thanks for checking me out. Nice. Dude, we might actually, tomorrow we might actually make 800 followers. That's fucking awesome. That would be super cool. Thank you guys so much for all the follows and the 2 new subscribers like Litany and Groggy. And thank you for the follow, Captain Jen. Welcome to the Biscuit Brigade, as said by a kindergartner. My kindergartner. Not just like a random walk around the street taping kindergartners. Are you in kindergarten? Can I get some voice clips from you, kid? Leave me alone, you creepy fucker. Like, for a kindergartner, you sure have a foul mouth. Fuck you. Like, oh my god. Well, I found the bug, Shadow. I found the fucking bug, because I'm a fucking moron. Oh. Well, that's the bug right there. Good game. So, before we had the job step system, right the cursor I'm right on it here. Before we added the step system, Shadow, the gardener job had the move built into it. So this is fucking it up. Right here. So it's calling the move job again instead of doing its fucking job. Oh, so then it never comes back to gardening. See? I told you it would be something fucking stupid. What a fucking moron I am. And then I get mad at myself when I make mistakes. You should be better, you fucking idiot. Oh, you're a dummy. You're a big dumb dummy. But we figured it out. It only took like, what day is it? Wednesday? It only took 3 days. 3 fucking days to change the world. Okay, let's mute all the breakpoints so the game will start running again. Please. Boop. Boop. Let's resume the game. And then hopefully we can run it and the game is fixed. Oh my goodness. Did you see it before I took it away, Shadow? Ugh. 99 little bugs in the wall. 99 little bugs. Take one down, patch it around. 127. 127 regression bugs in the wall. Yeah. I know, I found the bug. I'm excited. Like, I'm happy about it. But I can't, I'm my own worst critic, so I can't not bust my chops. If you'd asked me a year ago what my biggest fuck up was professionally, it would have been rm-effing a root directory on a running system, stopping it, and then telling my boss, the same one that made me go back to school. And I said, hey, I broke the system. He's like, you're gonna have to fix it. He's like, yeah. And then who was his partner? He goes, no, you're gonna have to fix it. He's like, so what you're gonna do is I'm gonna give you the disks for SCO Linux. You're going to drive the 3 hours to Annapolis to go into the data center, to go to the computer, and you're going to fix this yourself because you fucked it up, so you got to fix it, or else you're going to make... If you don't fix your fuck-ups, you're not going to learn not to fuck up again. So I went there, and I was on the phone with him, and he told me how to fix it, and I fixed it, and I never fucked it up again. But my next biggest fuck-up last year was I accidentally... So human error is totally a thing, and you fix human error by systems. If you have good system design that minimizes human error. So I had a bad system design for one of the scripts I was doing for some database maintenance. So I ended up deleting the database in production and losing like 12 hours of work. I fixed it. I called the CTO. I was like, I just deleted the production database. She was like, haha, you're joking. I was like, I'm not fucking joking. I got it fixed. We were running RAID 5, so the data was fucked up. The backups, we didn't have like an hourly snapshot, so that was a big fuck up, which we do now. We fixed the systems so that won't happen again. But I like threw up right after that because that was fucking a big fuck up. And then I immediately went to fix, like, here's how we make sure this doesn't happen again. That's all part of being more learning. So we fixed how to make sure that system doesn't ever happen again. But I beat myself up so much that my CTO, she knows me well enough that she dressed me down a little bit, and then she's like, I know that you need to be, if somebody yells at me about fucking up, I can like get that off my shoulders. It's like, okay, I've been yelled at, I can let that go, because I'm way worse than myself than anyone will ever be on me. So let's run and see if this works. And if this fucking works, Shadow, that lets me the other thing, like, how did this ever fucking work at all? Like, why did it work? Like, now it's like, how the fuck did this work at all now? Like, is it gonna break? Maybe we have another bug that we're not thinking of, because I wouldn't expect this to work if it was trying to double run those jobs. And then why does it work sometimes and not others? Like, what? I'm so confused. I'm so confused, chat. Hold me, chat. I'm so confused. Okay, let's chop wood and see if it works. Boom. Where the fuck are you going? Okay, there's where you're going. Motherfucker. Well, I guess we didn't fix it, but we did find a bug. God damn it. Well. How could this ever have worked? No, blame, I mean, when I run teams and when other people make mistakes, and even when I wrote up the postmortem, I did it blamelessly, because it doesn't matter who did what. It matters what the steps were and how do you remediate that so it doesn't happen again, and how do you build a system so it doesn't happen again. But I'm not blameless to myself. I will always, like, if someone else had deleted the database, it'd be like, okay, cool, like, it happens. I'm not going to take it, like, whatever, we'll figure it out. But when it's me, I'm so mad that I made a mistake in myself that I'm never going to be blameless. But I always run blameless postmortems for everything, because humans make mistakes. That's just a fact of life. But I don't like making mistakes, even though I'm a human, if that makes sense. Wait, how did this ever work? Like, it's funny, Ballard, like, doing unit tests is what I do for, like, my day job, like, writing tests. I've never done it with Unity. Does Unity support it? Like, if it does, maybe we do start doing that. Because I agree, test-driven development is the way to minimize fuck-ups, for sure. It's fun. Well, I wouldn't call it fun, but I mean, I would call it better. Oh, cool. Can you link me any docs, Larry? That would be awesome. Or whisper them or link them or whatever. Like, I would appreciate it. Actually, if you whisper them, I might not lose them, which we could. But then I have to fucking whisper you. Yeah, I like, for my day job, I do like the test of remote. TDD docs, please, sir. I whispered you. And the reason I said don't drop it in chat is I don't want to lose it when we end the stream. And then we go, and then I'm like, fuck, where's that thing that Larry sent me? Oh yeah, for this weekend's, like, Let 'em Dare, there's gonna be no fucking TD for sure. We're just gonna pound through shit though. What's a contract versus TDD, Groggy? I'm not familiar. Like I said, I'm not like, I went down the development path and then I went into, like, operational stuff, so doing, like, DevOpsy work. So I can write code, but I'm not, like, as well versed as you guys that are, like, developers in your full-time job. You know, because as a sysadmin, as a DevOps engineer, programmers need heroes too. So that's where I come in. Oh, a pattern. Okay. Well, I mean, I know what patterns are, but I was just saying, like, what's the construct pattern versus TDD? Unless I missed it somewhere. And I never ask, if I ask something, it's because I'm not being like most of the time I'm not being a smartass. I'm seriously, like, I don't know. And I have no shame in admitting, like, I don't know something. I'd like to know. Like, admitting you don't know something is how we learn, so I love learning. Duct tape coding. Welcome to the major leagues of duct tape coding. Contracts are a form of TVD, but it's more in line. You define asserts on classes functions on what you expect to go in and come out. That sounds a lot like this one methodology, this one framework I used as a kid was called Fusebox, and it kind of reminded me of that, where you'd say, you're going to take this and you're going to output that, and it can only be these certain things. Hey, thank you, Groggy. Let's go take a look at that. Let's see where it pops up. Pops from this browser. Nice. Oh, it's from Groggy. I'm going to watch that right now. I'm going to start it. Groggy's my man. Sir Groggy. Let's see, Sir Groggy's code. Let's see, Sir Groggy's code. Let's star that repo. Let's see. Pa, 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 pa. Holy mackerel. Oh my goodness, this is cool, Groggy. Thank you for sharing it with me. I appreciate it. Oh my goodness. This is awesome looking. Dude, that's so cool. Thank you, Groggy. I appreciate it. If you check the use example is what I was intending. TDD is more like you enshrine context with tests, and you're also supposed to write tests first. Yeah, you test your code by writing the things passing or failing based on the test data. That's how at least how I've done it. Like I'm not gonna make it like a religious thing. Like I'm open to like whatever works for people. So I really like that we're in here talking about like fucking coding. It's so fucking cool. It's like super awesome. You're an overloaded term. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I've got to get to work. And I don't want to raid today because if we want to talk code, I want to just host. So we're going to go and we're going to do this to this person. They're working on networking. So we're going to host this guy Last Miles. If you come in, I hope you raid with me. If we come in, drop Biscuit Brigade raid in there with me. I'm going to stay in the chat, so I'll keep talking. But I'm going to start my day job so I can keep talking via chat. But I've got to start working on work stuff. And I will be back at the same bat time tomorrow. After work, I might hop on and stream. We'll see. But I really appreciate everyone following and subbing. Like I can't express how much it means to me. Thank you so much. It is amazing. It feels amazing. Thanks so much for hanging out and making me part of your day. I really appreciate it. So let's go host Last Miles. I will see you guys later. I love you all, and I love your faces. Bye.